This is gonna negatively influence every single little girl who looked up to you, and you know it. You were the only reason I was confident, guess that's gone. These comments perfectly summarize the feelings people now have towards Clara Dow, a body positivity influencer who rose to fame by creating hundreds of videos embracing her flat chest and spreading the message that it's okay to be different, only for her to go under the knife and get implants, effectively destroying the very thing that made her popular in the first place. And if that wasn't bad enough, her reason for getting the procedure left many wondering if she ever actually believed in her own preachings.
Let me tell you the real reason why I did it, and it comes down to one word. Fun.
Maybe she genuinely felt justified in her decision and thought this response would help diffuse the backlash.
You know, I want to talk about other things. I want to have fun. I want to change my identity.
Unfortunately for Clara, this backfired spectacularly, making her lose hundreds of thousands of followers across different social platforms, while also receiving just as many angry comments from fans who felt betrayed. And from the way things are going, she'll likely never earn their trust back. And today, we're taking a look at how Clara Dow lost her most loyal fans with a series of terrible decisions, how she made the situation worse by doubling down, and why many of her former fans are more heartbroken than furious. But what's also left me heartbroken is how 76% of people watching my videos aren't yet subscribed. So please, take a moment to subscribe and let's get into the video. Clara started her YouTube journey in February of 2019 with a video titled "Do What You Love, No More Excuses." And right from the get-go, her content was all about positivity and happiness.
My motto for this year is do what you love.
While her early videos on topics like healthy morning and night routines saw modest success, they weren't exactly groundbreaking. That is, until a single video changed her life forever and helped her reach a level of success she never could have imagined. In June 2019, Clara uploaded a video talking about her flat chest, how she avoids insecurities and stays confident in her body despite looking so different from the norm.
I'm flat-chested, and as you can see, if you picture my chest like a LCD TV screen or an ironing board, that's basically how my chest looks like. But you know what? I love it. And in today's video, I will talk about my stories, how I was so insecure about my small chest, how I overcame it, and the lesson that I learned along the way.
This video got picked up by the YouTube algorithm almost immediately, allowing it to reach over 2.6 million views to date. More importantly, the message of this video resonated deeply with tens, if not thousands of women, who also felt insecure about parts of their body, with one of the top comments under this video reading, "I'm crying watching this, thank you for the beautiful words." The universally positive reception of this video also marked a shifting point in Clara's content. From this point on, almost everything she posted had something to do with her slender figure or flat chest, but her audience didn't mind this one bit. After all, that's exactly what they were there for. She had carved out a niche for herself as the body positivity influencer for skinny girls, and her viewers loved every second of it. As a comment puts it, finally, an influencer who talks about body positivity from the skinny girl perspective. Support for Clara and her content only grew as she started posting short-form videos on both YouTube and TikTok, allowing her to reach nearly 3 million followers on TikTok, 4 million subscribers on YouTube, and a whopping 3.3 billion views on her videos, most of which, as we mentioned earlier, were about her flat chest and slim figure. Despite her rapid rise to fame, however, she remained humble and relatable to her core audience, which in turn helped her maintain a fairly positive presence online for years. But what fans didn't know at the time was that this perfect image was about to come crashing down with a single video. In September of 2024, Clara posted a video titled "The Surprising Habits That Make Me Skinny," and this title alone was a pretty major shock to her longtime viewers, before they even clicked play. You see, while most of her content revolved around her chest size, another thing she often made videos about was her skinny body. More specifically, she made videos about being skinny shamed her whole life, with people constantly commenting on it and telling her to eat more.
Count your calories, I never look good in mom jeans. Wish I was like you, blue icon, he perfect body. Maybe I
This led her fans to believe that she was naturally this skinny and struggled to gain weight. So imagine everyone's surprise when she posted a video listing over a dozen habits she practices to stay at the weight she is.
I have never gained weight since my adult life. I've never have to worry about my weight. I've never have to worry about what I eat. I feel healthy. If skinny privilege is a thing, I can be called a skinny legend.
This did not make sense. Was she lying about being skinny shamed in all those videos? Because why else would she want to stay at such a lower weight if it was a constant source of bullying and harassment? However, the contradictory nature of this video was just the tip of the iceberg, since the advice she had for her viewers was somehow worse than any could have imagined. For instance, according to Clara, one of the biggest reasons behind her slim figure was her habit of essentially starving herself.
The first habit is I don't eat when I'm not hungry, and I only eat when I'm like really hungry. I often don't remember to eat unless I really feel it in my stomach. I'm like, oh my god, I'm hungry. And then I realized that, oh, it's like 7 p.m. and I haven't eaten anything all day.
A minute into the video, and she was already sending an extremely dangerous message to her impressionable young audience. This advice to only eat when you feel your stomach growling from hunger might sound viable on paper, when in reality it could lead to severe eating disorders to the point where someone forgets to eat for days at a time. Now, there was some solid advice buried somewhere in this video.
Another habit is I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't vape.
But much of it revolved around promoting habits that could lead to unhealthy behaviors over time, like admitting if she ate more than usual one day, she'd try to avoid food as much as possible the next.
If one day I consume like 2,500 calories or 3,000 if I'm like really stuffing myself, the next day I just like don't think about food at all. I would still feel full from yesterday, and I probably will only have like 500, 600 calories.
And her reasoning for this style of eating was, get this, because cavemen lived this way hundreds of thousands of years ago.
I think that it's so common for everywhere actually, not just in North America but in Asia as well, to have like regular mealtime, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and people just eat when it's mealtime, not necessarily because they are hungry. And I think that that has to change, because back in our hunter-gatherer day, which is like hundreds of thousands of years ago, we didn't have food lying around. We didn't have an abundance of food.
Completely disregarding our modern understanding of health and nutrition. As a comment on YouTube puts it, 100,000 years ago we ate every other day. 100,000 years ago, the average lifespan was 20. This harmful advice, combined with the hypocrisy of her making this video in the first place, left a lot of her fans feeling deeply disappointed and upset. The backlash was harsh and immediate, resulting in the video getting over 4.5 times more dislikes than likes. Not to mention the never-ending criticism that was pouring in the video's comment section. However, instead of facing the criticism head-on, apologizing, or even admitting that she made a mistake, she chose to turn the comments off and ignore the backlash completely. She was likely hoping that ignoring the backlash would make it go away. But that's not what happened. If she had owned up to her mistake, apologized, and taken the video down, most of her fans likely would have forgiven her and moved on within days. Especially since this was her first big mistake after years of having a fairly positive reputation. Her decision to ignore the criticism only made it stick around longer, slowly eroding the trust people had in her. She did eventually respond months later, however this response couldn't have been any more tone-deaf and dismissive, with her boiling down the paragraphs of criticism into, "I just said I don't eat when I'm not hungry, but the internet cancelled me because I starve myself and promote ED, like make it make sense." This felt more like rage bait than an actual sane response to otherwise serious criticism. She even posted multiple videos joking about how she had to get a real job because she was cancelled on the internet. But what came next made all this feel tame in comparison. It all started on April 1st, 2025, when she posted a video with a noticeably different appearance and a caption that read, "I had a boob job." The date made it seem like this was just a prank, and that she was likely wearing a bodysuit of some kind. But then, she also posted a comment stating, "Or am I kidding?" leaving her viewers completely confused about what was actually going on. Was all this just an elaborate April Fool's joke, or had she actually gone under the knife to change the very thing she had built hundreds of videos and her entire brand around? Fortunately, it didn't take long for her viewers to get the answer they were looking for. As the month of April went on, Clara kept posting videos with this new appearance, while completely ignoring the backlash and even posting videos trying to call out her critics for being, quote, obsessed with her.
And I was like, why are you so obsessed with me?
This only fueled the outrage, as many of her viewers already saw the implants as a betrayal of everything she stood for over the past 6 years. As an angry fan under her reveal video wrote, "The best April Fool's joke you ever pulled was convincing your audience that you cared about body positivity." To which she snarkily replied, "Why so pressed?" However, many viewers were still holding on to their judgment until they heard her side of the story. Maybe her making hundreds of videos declaring her love for her flat chest was just a coping mechanism to deal with her deep-rooted insecurities, and it finally became too much for her to bear. Though none of them could have predicted the real reason, since, in Clara's words, she got the surgery because she just wanted to have fun.
Yes, I did have a boob job. I know this might come as a shock because my whole page used to be about loving my flat chest and being confident with it. I literally built my entire career and following around that. So why did I do it? Am I crazy? Was everything a lie? Was I secretly insecure this whole time and just use body positivity as a way to make money so I could finally afford a boob job? No. Let me tell you the real reason why I did it. And it comes down to one word. Fun.
And as you might expect, this did not go over as well as she might have hoped. Bruh, I got a boob job for fun is more alarming message than me for I got a boob job because I was insecure. WTF do you mean by you underwent surgery for, quote, fun? A real body positivity influencer realizes that you don't just change your body for, quote, fun. She tried explaining herself in a longer video, which only made her sound even more tone deaf.
I really put my heart and soul into this cause. I really believe in what I did, you know? And like I said, I still believe in it now. It's just that over time, as I do a lot of the same content day after day, weeks after weeks, year after years, I get bored.
Suffice it to say, her viewers were not happy about it at all. Anger was one thing, but many of her longtime viewers felt sad because of this transformation. It left them wondering if Clara ever actually cared about body positivity, or if her entire career was just a way to seek validation and profit from the very insecurities she claimed to embrace. Some even believed that she did all of this to earn the money she needed to change herself. Regardless of her intentions, however, this one decision, alongside her horrible justification, made her lose her most loyal fans, practically overnight. And just like her previous controversy, she refused to apologize, and instead started lashing out at her own viewers.
If you don't like me, that's fine. But, you know, watch your mouth.
Oh, sorry, was I too confident in my own body that I overcame so many struggles to learn how to love? Oh, she's so full of herself now. Well, who the f is supposed to be full of if it ain't me?
But the viewers were having none of it. Within days, she lost hundreds of thousands of her most active followers across different platforms, while her comments went from sweet and wholesome to absolutely despising everything she did. However, one thing viewers struggled to understand was why. Why did she switch up so much in such a short time? Well, there was one potential answer: her boyfriend. In October 2023, Clara started dating a Filipino creator named Javi Lorenzana, and the two became quite close right from the get-go. Clara in particular seemed really into him, with her even posting a video titled, "How I Manifested My Soulmate." The audience really loved their dynamic as well, resulting in their new joined YouTube channel reaching over 2 million subscribers in no time, and their videos together receiving comments like, "I really hope being in a public relationship won't affect them as a couple. Please be happy together. You guys are so cute." However, when everything went down, viewers started theorizing that Javi, or Harvey, however you pronounce it, was the one behind the drastic change in Clara. That he was also the real reason for her surgical procedure. But just as people were trying to piece together the connection between Javi and Clara's strange behavior in recent months, something completely unexpected happened.
We broke up. It happened really fast when I was in Manila.
Clara made the announcement on June 11th, 2025, and seemed noticeably distraught because of it. Yet something about this breakup didn't sit right with viewers, especially after watching Javi's announcement, one he didn't even take seriously enough to put a shirt on for.
Hey guys, so I just wanted to share that Clara and I have broken up.
The timing of this breakup was also quite suspicious, as it happened right when Clara was getting roasted by the entire internet. So to some, this seemed like nothing more than a PR stunt from Clara to farm sympathy and take the attention away from the controversy, which could have been true. But then, one of Javi's exes came forward and claimed that he wasn't a good person, since according to her, Javi cheated on her with Clara, and that this wasn't anything new for him, stating, "Javi, who is also my ex, has a long history of infidelity from high school till now, and his reputation has always been terrible." This revelation sparked yet another theory, one where Javi was the mastermind behind it all. He was the one who pressured Clara into getting a boob job, shifting her content, and changing her online persona, and once he'd gotten what he wanted, he dipped, just in time to avoid getting caught up in the backlash. Of course, this is just a theory with no solid evidence, but even if it was the truth, it won't be enough to save Clara's career anymore. Clara has already lost the hundreds of thousands of people who genuinely cared about her as a person. This included those who grew up watching her videos, and those who found confidence in their own bodies because of her. They are still nostalgic for what she once stood for, as you'll find comments like, "I miss this Clara, she actually meant what she posted and didn't use her fame for bad stuff," littered throughout her older videos. However, it wasn't just what she did, it was how she handled the backlash and criticism that led her once loyal fans to lose all respect for her. They have no interest in supporting her ever again, no matter what she says or does. And while she might still get enough views to stay relevant, she'll never regain the loving community she once had. But Clara Dow was not the only creator who found out how quickly an online audience can disappear. The downfall of Master Uruguay will be studied for years to come, with many of his own viewers completely turning on him, and his multi-million subscriber YouTube channel being terminated, with comments reading, "Bro fell off, cancel, you've been digging your own grave for years, even your best friend said you f***ed up." From repurposing entire Kung Fu Panda scenes to inserting his own raunchy dialogues, Master Uruguay has always walked a fine line between humor and outright content theft.
If she looks at you for too long, she first must swallow your slop.
Videos like this garnered him millions of views and a massive following, with over 7 million subscribers on his main channel alone. But this lazy and monotonous approach to content creation has also led to significant backlash. In fact, when you search his name on YouTube, the first video you see is about how Master Uruguay is, quote, ruining YouTube Shorts. And today, we'll be looking into how Master Uruguay, a once massive YouTuber, lost not only his entire audience, but his entire platform as well. Master Uruguay, or Oma Sestum, started his online career by making edgy YouTube shorts, voicing the DreamWorks character Master Uruguay from Kung Fu Panda.
My student, if your Xbox she decides to break, then her mother you shall take.
This is his whole shtick, and since this formula was working for him, he ran with it, creating the same kind of shorts for months. Even though he was still raking in views, the YouTube community was quickly getting tired of his offensive, lazy, and reused content. In a YouTube short, he explained how people were spam reporting his content in hopes of getting him banned, and that DreamWorks itself was, quote, not happy with his work, unquote. One can only wonder why. Perhaps sexualizing a beloved character from a family-friendly movie wasn't the best idea, just a thought. So to be safe from further accusations from DreamWorks, he had to do a face reveal.
DreamWorks is also not happy with my work, so I have decided to reveal my true identity. This is me. My name is Umesh. I am the person who has been making all the Master Uruguay videos all this time.
But this was only the beginning, as things were about to get much, much worse. After receiving a ton of copyright strikes on the 20th of May 2023, Omar claimed that YouTube gave him 1 week until his main channel would be disabled.
In 7 days, my account is going to get disabled. And the reason for that is because of copyright strikes. People are abusing copyright strikes and the copyright content ID to claim some of my videos where I react on.
Later, on the 28th of May, he confirmed that one of his videos on his channel was removed by YouTube and that it would not be reinstated. What's interesting is how surprised Omar was at being censored. One quick look at the X-community notes shows that the video that got removed was titled Adolf Hitler is my N-word. Yeah, he wrote a song about that.
Kung Fu Panda. Adolf Hitler is my the barrel on his head and pull the trigger.
Despite the song clearly being a joke, it would violate YouTube's hate speech guidelines, and YouTube responded to his tweet by stating exactly that. After a thorough review from our policy team, unfortunately your video won't be reinstated. Please review our policy on hate speech to avoid this in the future. But this was just the beginning of Omar playing the victim. He would go on to consistently break YouTube's guidelines while still painting himself as unfairly targeted. Then, on the 1st of November 2023, his channel was demonetized. He took to his Twitter page and asked his viewers to spam YouTube to remonetize him, with his tweet stating, "Wow, I got demonetized. Is this how I get rewarded for creating thousands of videos and entertaining billions and making their day on your platform? Is this how I get rewarded for making you guys hundreds of thousands of dollars? I'm one of your biggest creators, and I don't even have a spokesperson to address this. And I ask for my viewers to tag YouTube and retweet this as much as possible." When this proved to be pointless, he uploaded a video on the 2nd of November 2023 announcing his permanent exit from YouTube because his content was getting constantly deleted, demonetized, and his application to the YouTube Partner Program was denied.
What's up guys, YouTube just officially responded and they say that I am not allowed to join the YouTube Partner Program. They're not giving me my monetization back.
His fans were heartbroken. "We will never forget how you served us, Master. Live on, man. I'm so sorry, Uguay. You were such a great creator, and I'm genuinely sorry that they did this to you and so many other people. It has been an honor." However, their sorrow didn't last long, because literally the next day, Omar announced that he had resolved things with YouTube and could rejoin the partner program if he removed his problematic videos.
I luckily got the privilege to hear which videos were the issue. So I am going to remove them, and oops, one sec, my lights got gone. I am going to remove those, and yeah, they're gonna try and get me back to the YouTube Partner Program.
In the video, Omar thanked his fans who helped him dodge a bullet that almost ended his career, and needless to say, his supporters were overjoyed. Like this comment that read, "We all love you, Master. You never deserved any of this." However, some people were agitated by his return. They saw the demonetization as a fitting payback for Master Uguay stealing content and breaking almost every YouTube Terms of Service rule. You're telling me he's broken every rule of TOS and hasn't made anything original, and now he's complaining? Sounds man-child worthy to me. With growing disdain, it was clear that this backlash was just the beginning of a much larger downfall, and you'd think that nearly losing his channel would make Omar stop cheating and create unique content, right? Well, not exactly. Omar continued to steal content from smaller creators, which led to even more criticism. He was constantly called out for copying content, which made his videos even lazier, if that was even possible. In one video, the YouTuber One Giant Onion claimed that Omar shamelessly stole his video ideas.
Also, I want everybody to spam Master Uguay. I want everybody to spam any of his videos. I want them all to say One Giant Onion. This man is stealing my content and I need him to be stopped. So everybody spam, address the One Giant Onion controversy.
And challenged him to give a response, where Omar would respond in a video titled Addressing the One Giant Onion Controversy.
Stealing your content? That's interesting. Let's see the first time he posted this type of video.
One of the arguments Omar makes is that he didn't steal any video ideas from One Giant Onion, but instead stole it from the YouTuber ADE.
Watching Euphoria until there's a scene. Let's go to the channel of the guy who actually created this concept and I actually stole it from. Listening to an Eminem song until I find a diss, listening to 6ix9ine until I hear him yell, all both 1 year ago.
Obviously, he's being sarcastic here, as he points out that ADE was the first person to come up with this idea, and that both One Giant Onion and Men Like Isaac took inspiration from it as well. Omar then flips the script and accuses One Giant Onion of stealing his content.
This is also very interesting. My opinion on women posted 15 hours ago. My opinion on women posted 23 hours ago.
Showing that he posted the video My Opinion on Women before One Giant Onion's version came out with the same title. Now, all of this seems fine and logical at first. However, on the 9th of June 2024, One Giant Onion released a video that would share his side of the story. In the video, Onion explains that Omar twisted the narrative by addressing only the parts that suited him.
When I confronted him about this, he didn't take accountability. He just twisted the narrative to make it seem like I was accusing him of stealing a completely different format, which I did not come up with. He knows full well which videos he steals from me, because every time I try a topic out and it starts doing well, he will start doing the same exact thing 2 or 3 weeks later.
He gave further proof, pointing out multiple video ideas that were stolen from him.
I never called you out because of these fucking videos. I call you out for this shit. My opinion on LGBTQ people. This is the first video I made with this format, and I posted it on April 14th last year. Here's your video, My Opinion on Black People, posted May 4th, 20 days after my video was posted.
And other creators such as Cartier Kai, whose video titled Freestyling Until I Accidentally Say Something Gay was copied by Uruguay a whole year after the original video was posted.
Forgotten.
I like big booty black midgets.
Needless to say, viewers were starting to turn against him, and this negative reception is perfectly captured in One Giant Onion's comment section, with comments reading, "The phrase dark humor has been permanently ruined by guys like him," as well as, "Bro, everyone has been cooking this dude recently." It's gotten to the point that if you click any of his recent videos, his comments are filled with people hating on his content, with comments like, "I thought bro was banned," as well as, "Bro decided to lock in after realizing that his original audience is starting to hate him." Master Uruguay would respond to One Giant Onion by claiming that he previously made the same content as him and was pulling the ladder up behind him to have a moral high ground.
And the One Giant Onion, I didn't even take that shit serious. Like, imagine doing the same type of content and trying to save your ass by saying, "Oh, this guy is bad, I regret my decision." Like, shut the fuck up, man. You were doing the same type of shit for years. These people talk to me online, you know, One Giant Onion. Ben Escherich, the guy who made the video, together with John Castelline, they could, if they truly wanted me to stop, they could just send a DM to me and be like, "Hey bro, chillax with the content, because people are gonna start hating me." No, what did they do? They made videos about it and try to defame the shit out of me. That's not because they want YouTube to be a better platform or me to be a better person. They just wanted to have something to talk about and make fucking money and views. That's their whole goal. That's what I think. Because if it wasn't, if they were true, good, kind people, they would truly just send me a message and be like, "Hey, chillax. Like, seriously, you're going way too far."
To make matters even worse, part of his most recent video titled Apology for Falling Off is also stolen from the YouTube channel Freya.
I want to apologize
for absolutely not giving a fuck
that I'm very sorry and I apologize for the inconvenience of me not giving a
By not breaking character, Master Uruguay seemingly shot himself in the foot, because what could have been a career-saving apology to the YouTube community devolved into a complete disaster. And to really drive home how much of a total train wreck this video was, let's go through some of Uruguay's arguments justifying his brand of quote content. First, Omar talks about the Mr. Bombastic trend where he picks a random funny video of the internet and stitches a clip of his face with it.
It's me, Mr. Bombastic Bomba Fanta.
His explanation for this low-effort content is that his audience likes watching these videos.
I cannot choose what goes viral. What I do is I do things and see what goes viral and then keep doing them. That is my only choice as a content creator because I am forced to do whatever my viewers want me to do.
But here's the problem with this argument. With his large following, Omar has the potential to create amazing content that would naturally attract views. He doesn't have to rely on cheap tactics to game the algorithm. Plus, him putting effort into his videos would also show how he respects his audience's time and intelligence. Sadly, if this was the extent of Uruguay's problematic content, things would have cooled down much sooner. But this is where the story takes a dark turn. After addressing the Mr. Bombastic trend, Uruguay tries to defend his racist jokes as just dark humor. He claims he's not actually racist because he loves exploring different cultures.
Another point these people are criticizing me about is my racist jokes. Yes, I make dark humor jokes that I think is funny. I love to do them because I think they're funny. And since I'm getting a lot of views, a lot of people think they're funny as well.
Hey Team YouTube, this is proof I'm not racist and I do not condone hate speech. Whilst making racist jokes doesn't inherently make you racist, it would give Oogway's haters enough ammunition to use against him, and help sway the public opinion of people who don't know him to instantly perceive him as a negative figure. On the 7th of June 2024, Master Oogway does this.
I am truly sorry. I made a severe and continuous lapse of my judgment.
You might be thinking, what's wrong here? He's apologizing. But that would just show that you haven't been around YouTube for long, as it would be actually referencing Logan Paul's apology from back in 2018. And at the end of the video, he mocks his haters by saying the N-word again.
Guys, it was just a word. Chillax. I can't believe you guys got so upset. All I did was say the word.
So let me get this straight. He makes an apology video, but instead of apologizing, he justifies his actions. Then he blames the audience, saying it's all their fault for watching his videos.
Now, 90% of these jokes, I don't say anything racist or anything really bad directly. I make you think it. So am I the person with the problem, or are you?
The hypocrisy is mind-numbing. One can easily argue that Master Oogway has creative control and authority over his content. If he chose to create more genuine, respectful content, his viewers would likely watch and support that. But to be fair, some of his arguments do hold up, like when he talks about being unfairly criticized for reacting to memes.
Some guy also criticized me for doing reacting content, and that's absolutely crazy because there are maybe a couple million people that do react content, mainly for reacting to memes.
It's true that many YouTubers do reaction videos, so we can't single out Omar for doing so. However, just as you think is beginning to address concerns logically, he deflects again and starts defending his repetitive and unoriginal content.
They're talking about my main channel because I'm just making memes with the same template. Listen, if it was unoriginal, would it get any views? No.
What Oogway fails to understand is views alone aren't an indication of originality. The reason his videos get views is because he employs a strategy of creating short, clickbait videos designed to capture viewers' attention quickly. This method works well, but it uses the same formats and relies on sensationalism rather than true creativity or new ideas.
So there's a talent in making the same video go viral overall. I created a template where I can make a specific dark humor meme all over again with new variations, new jokes, and they keep doing well because the template is good and the jokes are fun.
What's respectable is that he's self-aware and admits to being lazy and unoriginal.
His content lazy and unoriginal.
If that was about my Mr. Bombastic trend, I would slightly agree.
Oogway would seemingly use these short memes to promote his music, using it as the background music of these videos.
Kung Fu Panda. My call, she say cuckoo. Kung Fu Panda. My call, she say cuckoo. Kung Fu Panda. My call, she say cuckoo.
And just when you think things can't get any worse, he drops a bombshell that would trigger the internet, and resulted in internet users saying he was justifying PDF file allegations. There are some accusations you need to address head-on with solid evidence, or accept your mistake and keep your mouth shut. Instead, Master Oogway tries to explain that his jokes are a form of dark humor.
If she is young and blind, you won't have to sneak up from behind.
Now, it's definitely a stretch to call him a PDF file because of these jokes. Otherwise, comedians like Jimmy Carr would have been the first on the chopping block. But the difference here is the intended audience. Oogway's content targets young people and teens, which would cause him to receive even more criticism from the internet, as seen with this commentary YouTuber who would call out Master Oogway for making alleged inappropriate comments with his audience.
And I think a 23-year-old man at this current time, he's 25 now, shouldn't exactly be making these jokes with literal minors. Even the comment section was highlighting how disturbing it was because there was even a young teenage girl sitting right next to him participating in this crude joke.
So, despite this knowledge, he made a tweet in September 2021 promising to give away condoms to his followers, with a tweet reading, "Giving away Oogway to my Twitter followers. Make sure to be followed to win. I shall also follow the winners on Instagram. Good luck, my students." He did the same in his YouTube shorts. A creator selling response to his fanbase full of children is strange to say the least, and these comments show why. Master Oogway, I've gone down the wrong path as an 11-year-old, and I'm telling my mum to buy this for me. Whilst the majority of the Master Oogway hate came from people not understanding his jokes or taking them literally, a lot of the criticism Master Oogway has been receiving is genuine, constructive, and consistently backed by evidence. And videos that Master Oogway claims were made in rage bait against him actually give him advice on how to turn his channel around. Take for instance, Royalty is Here's video about the downfall of Master Oogway. Towards the end of the video, Royalty talks about what Omar might be trying to do with his content by stating,
I think he's trying to do what Filthy Frank did, which is the method uploading music with the most outrageous lyrics, but it kind of slaps.
He compares Oogway to Filthy Frank, who is now an acclaimed artist. Interestingly, Royalty also points out that Omar's music, apart from the problematic songs, shows real potential. For example, his music video Mona Lisa.
Girl, piece of art, she reminds me of Mona Lisa. Wants to conquer me like she is Julius Caesar.
So, branching out into other professions is just one of the many possible paths Omar can take. Even Omar himself praised the video in the comments, stating, legit great video. Most critic videos tell lies and mix it with truths, since they haven't really watched my videos and are just joining the hate hype train. But your video is 100% accurate. Respect. Whilst it really seemed like Master Oogway could turn things around and have a fruitful career on YouTube, things would take a sudden turn for the worse, when on the 20th of June 2024, Master Oogway would have his YouTube channel terminated. Following the news of his termination, there were two main responses from the internet. One side was celebrating his censorship and comparing him to a literal nut. The other side would feel empathy for him, losing his main source of income. Whilst Master Oogway would attempt to return several times, every new channel he would make would be quickly terminated. And with the recent controversies of Dr. Disrespect and Chris Tyson, Master Oogway would question why he was banned, and they were left with platforms. But it's safe to say, I don't think this is the last of Oogway that we'll see.
And sometimes the collapse does not come from years of bad behavior. It comes from one moment the internet refuses to forget.
Dr. Disrespect is on the verge of one of the largest downfalls in creator history, going from being one of the most respected and popular streamers on the internet to being hated by everyone after admitting some awfully disturbing actions.
He was talking inappropriately with a minor, where I truly believe this scumbag needs to be banned off of the platforms that he's on.
I don't know who's really going to support him at this point. Like, what kind of person is going to watch Dr. Disrespect? If you watch him at this point, you just have to be coping, basically.
But to fully understand the current situation, we first have to go back to where it all started. In June of 2020, Dr. Disrespect, who was the face of Twitch at the time, was permanently banned from the platform. The suddenness of the high-profile banning, coupled with the silence from both Dr. Disrespect and Twitch on the matter, would turn the ban into one of the most infamous and mysterious bans in Twitch history and spark several conspiracy theories. This wouldn't be helped by his final moments on stream appearing like he found out something extremely bad was about to happen.
We'll get through this, Champions Club. I know it's a tough. Life's weird right now. We'll get through this, okay? And
Hey, Christopher.
Fuck.
You get to try.
This strange behavior would leave viewers to leave comments such as, whatever's coming, it ain't gonna be a small matter. That mood he gets into near the end, I'm scared. As well as, 242, I kind of wanted to get off and now I don't want to get off. He realized it would be his last stream ever, so he said that. Despite these comments, no one could have been prepared for the real reason he was actually banned. In August of 2020, Doc would return to streaming, but this time on YouTube. His first stream on the platform attracted a massive audience, and he seemingly came back stronger than ever, going on to claim that he had no idea why he was even banned in the first place.
Why did you get banned? Guess what? I want you to look me in the fucking eyes when I say this. We still have no idea.
Over the following 4 years, his ban would remain a mystery, and he would grow his YouTube channel to over 4.7 million subscribers and continue to be one of the most popular streamers on the internet. But this would all completely change in 2024. On the 22nd of June, Cody Connors, an ex-Twitch employee, would make a tweet that would mark the beginning of the end for Dr. Disrespect. The tweet read, he got banned because he got caught texting a minor in the then existing Twitch Whispers product. He was trying to meet up up with her at TwitchCon. The powers that be could read in plain text, case closed gang. The tweet was making big claims with little to no evidence to back them up, and the reaction from the internet would be extremely mixed, with some jumping to the conclusion that he's a creep despite the lack of evidence, and others waiting to hear more about the situation or calling Cody an unreliable source of information, with comments reading, "Hey doc, I heard you like him young. We need sources and more information, like who, as well as source, just trust me bro." While Cody's tweet didn't explicitly mention Dr. Disrespect, Jake Lucky's repost would result in a response from Doc that would ultimately make the situation so much worse. "Jake, seriously, I get it, it's a hot topic, but this has been settled. No wrongdoing was acknowledged and they paid out the whole contract." The tweet would garner significant criticism for the strange and concerning use of vague and legalese language, leaving readers wondering why Doc said no wrongdoing was acknowledged instead of just denying the career-ending allegations. Following the significant backlash, Doc would make another response on the situation, adding a bit more context, stating, "Listen, I'm obviously tied to legal obligations from the settlement with Twitch, but I just need to say what I can say since this is the f***ing internet. I didn't do anything wrong, and all of this has been probed and settled. Nothing illegal, no wrongdoing was found, and I was paid. Elden Ring Monday." While this tweet was better than the first, it still had strange language, like no wrongdoing was found and that he was quote paid. Ultimately, the tweet would result in an even more polarizing response from the community, with large figures such as the Axeman coming to his defense, stating, "Degenerate troglodyte losers are trying to slander him with serious accusations that could destroy his entire career, while providing literally zero proof. In other words, some pussies have a vendetta/grudge against him and want to damage his reputation as much as possible," and others critiquing his use of vague language against such serious allegations. Bro, why won't you say, "I was not talking to a minor trying to meet up with her at TwitchCon like what was alleged," but things were about to get much, much worse. On the 24th of June, while Stock was streaming Elden Ring, a game company he co-founded would make a tweet that would change everything, reading, "On Friday evening, we became aware of an allegation against one of our co-founders, Guy Beam, aka Dr. Disrespect. We assumed his innocence and began speaking with parties involved, and in order to maintain our principles and standards as a studio and individuals, we needed to act. For this reason, we are terminating our relationship with Guy Beam immediately." While these facts are difficult to hear and even more difficult to accept, it is our duty to act with dignity on behalf of all individuals involved, especially the 55 developers and families we've employed, along with our community of players. The tweet went live while Stock was streaming, and viewers claim this is the exact moment he saw the post.
You know how we run things here.
Towards the end of the stream, Doc seemingly came to terms with reality and what was awaiting him in the near future.
I think when I say step away, I think either have to relay this to the Midnight Society, but maybe I step away from there too. Just completely remove myself from the scene. It's what I need to do.
The following day, on the 26th of June 2024, Dr. Disrespect would post a tweet that would not only possibly end his career, but completely confirm the reason he was banned from Twitch, with his response reading, "The Twitch ban. Hello, I'd like to make a quick statement. I've always been upfront and real with you guys on anything that I can be upfront about, and I'm always willing to accept responsibility, which is why I'm here now. First and foremost, I do want to apologize to everyone in my community, as well as those close to me, my team, and everyone at Midnight Society Game Studio. A lot of people have been left in the dark about what happened yesterday with Midnight Society and I, and we made the painful decision collectively to have me step down. Our team is full of incredibly talented and good people that have high career ambitions and families, and I'd never want to jeopardize the culture we have carefully crafted. Everyone has been wanting to know why I was banned from Twitch, but for reasons outside my control, I wasn't allowed to say anything for the last several years. Now that 2 former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the accusations, I can now tell you my side of the story story regarding the ban. Were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes leaned too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. Nothing illegal happened, no pictures were shared, no crimes were committed. I never even met the individual. I went through a lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute with Twitch, and that case was resolved by a settlement. Let me be clear, it was not a criminal case against me, and no criminal charges have ever been brought against me. Now, from a moral standpoint, I'll absolutely take responsibility. I should have never entertained these conversations to begin with. That's on me. That's on me as an adult, a husband, and a father. It should have never happened. I get it, I'm not perfect, and I'll fucking own my shit. This was stupid. Now, with all this said, don't get it mistaken. I've seen all the remarks and labels being thrown around so loosely. Social media is a destruction zone. I'm no predator or PDF file. Are you kidding me? Anyone that truly knows me knows where I stand on those things with those types of people. F that. That's a different level of disgust that I hate even hearing about. Don't be labeling me as the worst of the worst with your exaggerations. Get the F out of here with that shit. But I think I've said what I needed to say regarding the ban itself. That's it. That's why Twitch made the decision in 2020. To my team, community, industry friends that have supported me, I apologize. I wish I could have said all this sooner. You guys have always showed me and my family love and support throughout all these years. We love you guys like you can't imagine. I have the best community and circle. If any of this has made you uncomfortable, I get it. You don't have to support me anymore. But just know you have always been greatly appreciated. But trust me when I say this. To all my haters that live and breathe social media with zero real life experience, I don't give an F about you. Finally, if you're uncomfortable with this entire statement and think I'm a piece of shit, that's fine. But I'm not effing going anywhere. I'm not the same guy that made this mistake all those years ago. I'm taking an extended vacation with my family as mentioned on stream, and I'm coming back with a heavy weight off my shoulders. They want me to disappear? Yeah, right. Following the response, Doc would continue to edit the tweet, removing the word minor and then adding it back in due to backlash, with a reply stating, he edited out minor, got caught on it, and then edited it back in. Quite the apology when you're still trying to skirt responsibility. As expected, the tweet would go incredibly viral, gaining over 60 million views within just 12 hours, leading users to dig even deeper into his history, with user Chrissy digging up a clip of Doc allegedly admitting to cheating on his wife at the 2017 TwitchCon, which also happens to be the same year he was allegedly messaging the minor to find out what she was doing at the convention.
As you guys know, I have a beautiful family and a wife and kid, and I want to be transparent that I've been unfaithful, and
the response from the YouTube community was brutal to say the least, with creators such as Penguin Zero, Some Ordinary Gamers, and Coffeezilla all making videos on the situation and calling out Doc for his disgusting behavior. During Penguin Zero, aka Charlie's video, he would completely destroy Doc, first addressing how he sneakily edited his tweet multiple times.
Now the Doc actually edited this statement twice. So initially he posted it with the word minor in it, saying, were there messages with an individual minor? The answer is yes. But then shortly after he published it, he edited the word minor out of it. So he removed that, he redacted it like a fucking CIA document, trying to bury it, just snapping it out of existence. So then it read, were there messages with an individual? The answer is yes. But people were quick to notice the edit, and you can actually check edit history on Twitter, which I didn't know you can do, but you could clearly see that the original no longer matched the current one because he took the word minor out. So when people caught him red-handed, he just edited it one more time to put the word minor back into it.
Charlie would also critique Doc's strange ending of the tweet, stating,
he tries to close this statement with a really hard, cheesy 80s action movie one-liner. They want me to disappear. Yeah, fucking right. Granny shifting, not double clutching like you should. You're lucky you didn't blow the welds off the intake. I'm not leaving. It's really kind of ridiculous to put that there with accusations like this.
Finally, Charlie would counter the argument that Doc possibly didn't know the age of the minor he was talking to.
Now, what's not clear and what a lot of people are coping with is that maybe Dr. Disrespect didn't know the age of the person he was communicating with, but I truly feel if that was the case, Dr. Disrespect would have mentioned that, saying, that he had those communications with this person that he believed was of age but turned out to be a minor. I think if that was the reality of that situation, if he truly communicated with someone that he thought was of age but turned out to be a minor, I think he would have mentioned that in this statement, but he didn't. He didn't say that he was under the impression he was communicating with an adult. He just says that he had conversations with an individual minor. He doesn't say anything like, oh, they were actually one day away from being 18, or I really thought they were, in their 20s, or anything like that. And I think if that was what happened, it would have been mentioned here. I really do.
To make matters even worse, even his previous friends and defenders took a stance against him after he admitted he was having an inappropriate conversation with a minor, with Nick Merck stating,
Yo, checking in. I'm seeing everything on Twitter, and I read through Doc's tweet, and in that very tweet, he basically confirms that, he was texting an underage girl, and it went weird sometimes, and look, just to be blunt and straightforward, man, that's inexcusable, it's unacceptable, right? No excuse for something like that.
And with the Act Man stating,
What's up, everybody? This is the Act Man here, and this is my final verdict on the Dr. Disrespect situation. As you might have seen, I've been pretty vocal about this on Twitter, and Doc has finally given us the truth. At long last, we know why he was banned, and it's not good. So first, I want to read this part where he says, it's the most important part of his tweet. Were there Twitch Whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. These were casual mutual conversations that sometimes lean too much in the direction of being inappropriate. I've seen enough to catch a predator to know when somebody is using language to soften the blow, to downplay what actually happened. It's a strategy where you can admit something you did that was terrible, but you can maybe make it seem not as bad as it actually is.
One question looming on everyone's mind is what is going to happen to Dr. Disrespect? Based on his response, he's planning on taking a break and returning as usual. However, only time will tell if he'll make a comeback from such disgusting and character-ruining behavior. Whether he was legally charged or not, that does not change the court of public opinion. And being in your late 30s having inappropriate interactions with a minor is career-ending no matter how good your reputation is. I think Mudaha put it well.
At the end of the day, this is just a gross thing to be doing. And there is no defense for this kind of behavior. And I firmly believe, as, even on YouTube, this guy shouldn't even be streaming anywhere. What is proven is if you are interacting in a negative fashion with anybody that is a minor, you are not to be trusted on any social media platform whatsoever.
It really seems like this is the beginning of the end for Dr. Disrespect's reputation and career, with new articles coming out from inside sources claiming he did know the age of the victim and was sexting with them, YouTube removing him from their partner program, and his YouTube channel losing over 50,000 subscribers within just days of his response going live. The more information that comes out revolving around the situation, the worse it begins to look for Dr. Disrespect. From there, the pattern becomes even clearer. Once the audience feels betrayed, loyalty evaporates instantly. YouTuber I'm Alex is facing one of the worst downfalls in YouTube history, with his channels losing over 160,000 subscribers within just 2 weeks. This comes after his ex-girlfriend, Alice Hez, published extensive evidence of mistreatment, abuse, and harassment she received over the course of their relationship. This has exposed the side of him that he kept hidden from his fanbase, which is ironic considering his entire career is based around creating expose content on other YouTubers and internet personalities. And today, we'll be looking into the disturbing downfall of Alex Elmsley, also known as I'm Alex. On the 15th of June 2024, Alice made a post on Twitter stating, "Here's my statement on the situation I've been scared to speak out on. It's best it was made public how horrible this person with a platform is. I would hate to see another woman go through this." This post also included a Google Drive link, which contains a number of audio and video files featuring Alex. Alongside that, it also contained an 80-plus page long document with dozens of statements detailing the abuse Alice endured, alongside the screenshots and pictures to prove these allegations. The document opens up with a trigger warning for sexual assault, suicide, depression, and assault. Following this, the first major accusation against Alex is that he tried to blackmail Alice into staying quiet about the whole situation. In her words, "I've been threatened by Alex to not come out with anything at all and to keep quiet, or he'll create a contradicting story to discredit my own, but I'm not scared anymore." And as we'll see later, this accusation is disturbingly close to the truth. Alice also mentioned how she officially begun dating Alex in March of last year, and later revealed that they broke up in December of 2023, so the relationship only lasted about 9 months in total. Now, that's just 9 months, but with the sheer number and severity of the accusations in this document, it almost makes it unbelievable that it all went down in less than a year. That being said, the first issue Alice faced was Alex's constant need for attention. He expected her to be available for Discord calls 24/7, and she states, "Alex felt that because I'm home all day and work from home, that I would be able to call 24/7 and to completely shut out any other social interactions I have with my friends. And when she couldn't join a call because she was busy elsewhere, like with friends or family, Alex would emotionally blackmail her, saying things like, 'Guess everyone has got something better to do,' or 'No one wants me.' Either that or he would get angry and start dishing out a barrage of insults. 'Idiot, you text like a retard, so call me. You're stupid.' And if Alice tried to apologize and calm things down, he'd stay heated and go as far as telling her to off and calling her a cunt. She further explains, "After screaming at me in calls and disregarding everything I've ever said, he would explain how it's always my fault and that I should apologize, that I should fix it and fight for him after he's made it worse by completely dehumanizing and degrading me. What's extremely disturbing is Alice didn't use the term dehumanizing here as a metaphor.
Now, when it's too fucking late, you admit that you did everything fucking wrong. But when it actually matters, when you should lay down like a good fucking dog."
During this time, Alice also found out that not only was Alex keeping touch with several of his exes despite promising he wouldn't, she also discovered that he was even stalking one of his previous girlfriends and still had her explicit images on his phone. However, this was only the start of Alex's twisted behavior towards Alice. In July, the two of them went on a holiday to Italy. However, what should have been an opportunity for the two of them to finally make up got ruined when, according to Alice, Alex started watching a video about, quote, "a girl being hyper after trauma," unquote, which is a terribly disturbing notion on so many different levels. So, when Alice noticed the contents of this video, she opened up to Alex about her own past essay-related trauma. However, instead of consoling her or understanding her struggles, Alex told her that he, quote, "doesn't want to know what has been done to her by other guys," unquote. He also got angry and threatened to leave Alice on her own in a foreign country with no way of getting back home, and even blamed her for ruining the trip after coming back and saying things like, "Bringing up weird shit on our first holiday, you ruined every moment," as well as, "I have no fond memories with you." However, things got even worse for Alice when she asked Alex for advice about getting into Twitch streaming and expanding her online career. Instead of helping her in any meaningful way, Alex just resorted to belittling her for trying. "You're like everyone else, stupid idiots who think they know better than the only man who has done it all successfully," as well as, "It's easy to sit there like everyone else and cry about it when you're a jobless freak. Imagine trying to teach retards like you and my mates how to do this. And kill yourself. I just told you how to make 6 figures, so f off." They would even call Alice a, quote, "dumb" multiple times during this argument. And while this is awful, Alex managed to take things even further into the realm of depravity. For some context, many years ago, Alex posted a video in which he criticized Hannah Mojo's use of a racial slur by saying the N-word out loud himself. He later apologized for this and admitted that it was a dumb thing to do.
"I deleted that video because I don't stand by that video, and that video was and there's no excuses for that video that I made."
Most bought this apology as genuine, with comments reading, "As a black person, I think he was genuinely sorry in his apology. You could tell he was ashamed. That doesn't excuse the fact he said it at all. But from the looks of things, it's clear that his use of the N-word wasn't a dumb mistake, but rather a deliberate choice. This is because Alex seems to have no issues about using the N-word as an insult to his girlfriend. If you're already disgusted by Alex's emotional manipulation, gaslighting, and condescension, it gets even worse, because these usually usual insults quickly escalated into threats of physical violence, with Alex telling Alice to, quote, die in a hole and kill yourself, and even directly threatening her by saying things like, I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to break your neck. Alice also managed to record one of these horrible threats he made during a video call.
Acting like this is all just me, and that's something you really need to fucking fix.
I'm gonna fucking bash your fucking head against the wall with a brick if you don't shut the fuck up.
After putting up with these threats and constant abuse for a bit over 9 months, Alice finally decided that enough was enough and broke up with Alex on the 28th of December 2023. She detailed the events leading up to this breakup in the document she shared with everyone on Twitter. According to her statements, on the day of the breakup, Alex asked if he could help with any house chores. She told him to clean the sides of the kitchen cabinets and take out the bins, but instead of doing the tasks he asked for, he started screaming at her for giving him more than one task and telling her that he couldn't handle more than one at a time. And as Alice tried to walk away to avoid any further escalation, Alex crossed a major line. He allegedly became physically violent. According to the document in Alice's Google Drive, Alex kicked her in the back, nearly making her fall to the ground. At this point, Alice was scared out of her mind and was panicking. She was afraid that Alex would hit her again, so she started recording on her phone just in case. All the while, Alex began following her around, insulting her further and trying to incite another argument. During his rambling, he also says that he's the one who pays for everything, so what Alice has to say doesn't matter one bit. After Alice left, he also began threatening to throw her remaining stuff out, including her PC setup worth over £4,000. She quickly returned to take it back, but it was too late. Her setup was on the floor in pieces, the keyboard was broken and scattered everywhere, and both her monitor screens were also smashed to bits. From what we've seen so far, there's plenty of evidence to show just how abusive Alex had been towards Alice since the very beginning of their relationship. Yet something completely surprising happened after the breakup. Put simply, Alex suddenly turned into a new man, or at least that's what he began saying, stating that he, quote, wants to make stuff better, and that he, quote, wants everything to be normal again. By this point, Alice wanted nothing to do with him, so she began ignoring him completely and even blocked his number, which is a clear indicator that she did not want to discuss anything with him. However, Alex kept messaging her on different social platforms, including ones she made for her cat in hopes of gaining her attention. He even sent her a 24-minute long voice note crying, admitting fault, and begging Alice to give him another chance.
I'd convinced myself that you were always looking for a way out, when in reality you just wanted me to be normal. You didn't want my money, you didn't want anything from me apart from me to just be what I could be all the time. And I'm so sorry, Alice.
When that didn't work, he tried sending her a gift through Amazon with an apology message reading, I'm deeply sorry for upsetting you and letting you down constantly. I hope one day you can forgive me and we can talk. He even tried the pre-internet technique of sending a handwritten letter to Alice, reading, Dear Alice, I'm so sorry for not fixing my behavior before, and I understand this might be too late or too little. You are the love of my life, and I will never forgive myself for hurting you. During this time, Alice began posting things on Twitter and other social media platforms relating to domestic abuse and toxic relationships. Now, if someone suddenly starts making these kinds of posts, it's natural for people to assume they've experienced something similar. These posts can come across as a subtle cry for help, a way to share their struggles without openly announcing them to everyone. And since many of Alex's subscribers knew about his relationship with Alice, they'd likely start asking questions. To avoid such a situation, Alex tried to talk Alice into keeping their matters hidden by saying stuff like, we have a right to a private life, and that, quote, venting to your friends I understand, but this makes this whole situation harder for both of us, and takes it to an unneeded place. But when Alice refused to cooperate one bit, Alex changed his approach and adopted a more threatening tone, saying things like, if you keep posting this stuff, it'll end up being a huge problem. This is also where he began threatening to make up a counter story that Alice mentioned near the start of this document. Alex, I don't want to talk about you hitting me, and I found the text about the cat. Alice, because I didn't, and you'd be lying. Alex, when you said you'd punched me. Alice, I didn't punch you over a cat. Is this you saying you're gonna use that? Alex, no, I'm not. But right now, you're pushing against me. Before Alex could make up any stories about what, quote, actually happened, Alice decided to come forward with her story and all the evidence she'd gathered over the months. Which brings us back to June 15th, when Alice made the Twitter post that started this whole controversy. As soon as the post went live, people started voicing their support for Alice, with a tweet from Wonderstruck reading, "Just finished reading through the drive. Genuinely deplorable behavior. I sincerely do apologize for the volatile behavior that was directed towards you." With another user tweeting, "I am literally shivering after seeing all this. More love and support to you. Please take care of yourself." The YouTube community is completely on Alice's side as well, to the point that there isn't a single person on YouTube who's defending Alex's actions. It's important to note that a big reason why everyone's unanimously taking Alice's side is because the evidence she's published leaves no room for doubt. There are dozens of texts of Alex calling her all kinds of horrible names, and clips of him calling her a dog and threatening to smash her head against a wall with a brick. That's some pretty deplorable stuff. And while everyone else on the internet was bashing Alex's behavior towards his ex-girlfriend, two of his friends also came forwards with statements condemning his actions. Memulus made a post on Instagram stating, "I'm aware of the Alex situation. I would usually wait until both parties have said their side publicly before speaking out, but I think the evidence here is overwhelming. I spent this morning reading what Alice has written and going over the evidence she has provided, and no one should have to go through what she has. It's awful and disturbing and has seriously shocked me. I'm still processing what's happened. This is one of the worst situations I've ever seen in my life, and I hope Alice is okay. It took a lot of courage to speak out about this." Will and E also took a similar stance and completely sided with Alice, but also made a shocking revelation. Firstly, I really hope Alice is doing well and commend her massively for having the courage to get that out there. As Mia mentioned, there were rumors of his behavior earlier last year. Myself and a few others hadn't had contact with him since or been his friend for even longer. With that being said, the severity of the abuse that Alice published was far worse than anything I'd heard being discussed, and what he put her through is inexcusable. In other words, people close to Alex already knew about his toxic traits, or at least had suspicions, but chose to ignore the matter until Alice came forward with her complete story. Well, not everyone. According to Will and E's ex, Mia Xmon, she and Alex were signed to the same YouTube talent agency up until last year. For those of you who don't know, a YouTube talent agency is a company who helps them find sponsors in their videos. But when she became aware of the abuse back in June of 2023, she forwarded the information to the agency and pressured them into dropping Alex, which they did. And while most see this as a good thing, some are calling Mia's moral compass into question, with a tweet reading, "Isn't she just as bad as everyone else who knew by staying silent? I feel like we can't criticize everyone else and give her praise because she also knew about it and didn't say anything publicly. But as someone else points out, it's the victim's story. What if Alice wasn't ready to share it?" Ultimately, it is a very complex situation with no clear answer, though in light of Alice's bravery, a couple other victims of Alex have also come forward, detailing their horrible experiences with him. The first of these is his ex-girlfriend, Jess Carter, who replied to Alice's tweet talking about how she had to endure similar treatment from Alex. She also posted a screenshot of texts one of her friends received from Alex back in 2019, which includes messages like, "I'm going to kick her head in, might kill her, might actually kill her," when talking about Jess. So from the looks of things, the threats of physical violence towards his romantic partner aren't exactly a new thing, and have been part of Alex's personality for a long time. And just like with Alice, people were quick to come forward to support Jess. At the same time, a YouTuber by the name of King Annie also came forward about her horrible experience with Alex. But instead of receiving support like Alice and Jess, she's getting immense backlash for something she did alongside Alex about 4 years ago. For context, in mid-2019, the YouTuber Slazzo's ex-girlfriend, Shay, published a tweet longer accompanied by screenshots in which she accused Slazzo of being controlling, manipulative, and sexually abusive. A few weeks later, Slazzo made a video titled My Side, where he showed the screenshots, the proof, everything. He proved that he did not abuse her, he didn't force her to do anything, and he was just an immature boyfriend. In other words, the accusations against him were completely off base and inaccurate. Despite this, some people still kept saying that Slazzo was in the wrong, most notably King Annie. In the end, these false allegations completely ruined Slazzo's career and forced him to quit YouTube entirely soon after. So So now that the allegations against Alex came out, King Annie came out and blamed the entire Slazo situation on Alex as well. With a post reading, "We started to realize that when there was even the smallest amount of drama, and he heard about it, he would make sure to involve himself, even if the subject had absolutely nothing to do with him, and he would just make everything so much worse. For example, the Slazo situation. Though it was never said in the original statements by Shay, he somehow came to the conclusion that it was and everyone else got the blame for saying his words. However, people are not willing to let King Annie declare herself as a victim in the Slazo situation, with a post from Wavy Websurf reading, "You helped spread those Slazo allegations. Don't try to slink out of that. You heard a rumor, did zero vetting, and went with it. Take some accountability for what happened. You co-signed that false story." Some don't even want to acknowledge her as a victim of Alex's toxic tendencies, with a tweet reading, "And now they're trying to take a piece of the victim pie. Alice is the victim, not her." What should have been a straightforward story of a domestic abuse victim coming out to the world has turned into a web of drama which somehow involves multiple YouTubers and incidents from over 4 years ago. This has also made it quite difficult to predict where the situation will go from here. The biggest unknown factor in this regard, however, is Alex's response, or lack thereof. At the time of writing this video, Alex has not yet responded to Alice's allegations in any shape or form. The video of him threatening to smash his girlfriend's head is enough to sink his career on its own, not to mention the remaining videos and dozens of screenshots proving the points Alice has brought up against him. Some speculate he'll make a half-assed apology and try to play the bad mental health card, but given the severity of the situation, that'll only enrage more people. In all honesty, it'd be a miracle if he somehow managed to keep even 10% of his audience, since there's nothing he can say or do that will restore his reputation at this point. But losing your audience is not always about allegations. Sometimes it is about making your own fans feel stupid for supporting you. From losing over 700,000 subscribers as well as the respect of his own fan base, iDubbbz is without a doubt facing one of the worst downfalls in YouTube history.
A good amount of people are just doing the reasonable thing and just making jokes and laughing about it. But there's a whole nother group of people who feel personally devastated and betrayed. You lied to us.
All of this begs the question, how did one of YouTube's most iconic creators become the laughingstock in the eyes of both his fans and the broader internet communities? And today, we'll be diving into the controversial career and downward spiral of iDubbbz, a creator who built his career on criticizing others, but fell victim to it himself. iDubbbz started his journey on YouTube in 2012, and almost immediately, he began uploading content. The first long-running series on his channel was titled Kickstarter Crap, which saw iDubbbz making fun of various lackluster Kickstarter projects.
Hello everyone and welcome back to more Kickstarter crap. Today the piece of crap that we're looking at is called Paintball Panda, The Bamboo Tales, your new everyday game.
Although these videos were nothing more than simple rants, iDubbbz's unique style of presentation and sense of humor set him apart from other channels, which allowed him to rapidly increase his viewer base, growing from a few 100,000 viewers per upload to over 1 million. This critical approach to making videos would bleed into his other projects, and eventually lead to the creation of iDubbbz's most popular series, Content Cop.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Content Cop. Today's theme on Content Cop is equality, but this time I'm gonna make a video about a woman with a We're talking about Tana Nojewel.
Each upload in the Content Cop series saw iDubbbz break down and berate a specific controversial creator with several edgy jokes and funny sketches mixed in. Over the years, iDubbbz would cover the likes of Tana Mojo, Leafy is Here, and Keemstar, which gave him a reputation for being one of the most ruthless commentary channels on YouTube. Combine this with unhinged collaborations with creators like Filthy Frank, Max Mofo, and Anything for Views, and it was only a matter of time before iDubbbz reached legendary status on the platform.
Hey guys, take on my name's Max Mofo. I'm Filthy Frank. I'm iDubbbz TV. And today we're playing Deadly Twister. We've got the red spots which are fire, we've got the blue spots for the spaghetti, the yellow spots that are mouse traps, and the green spots which are pull a mystery challenge from the hat. If it lands on purple, I get to belt on these.
Ultimately, iDubbbz's unorthodox creativity would inspire a whole generation of other creators to follow in his footsteps. While iDubbbz would later move away from the extremely edgy content, he managed to retain a majority of his fan base, and seemed to be comfortable exploring other avenues of creativity. Unfortunately for iDubbbz, he was about to be put at odds with fans, and it wouldn't be for the content he created. In March 2020, iDubbbz's girlfriend, Anissa Jomha, published a tweet announcing she'd be making an OF account and began promoting it to both of their fan bases. "I'm very excited to announce my lewd OF launch. Check me out in the link below. I'm very excited to provide cute cosplay photo sets and more. Hard devil face." Under normal circumstances, announcements like this would generally go unnoticed, but Anissa's connection to iDubbbz would incite a response from his community. Seriously rip, iDubbbz has fallen. I can't believe Ian was a simp all along. I'm sort of disappointed. Really, iDubbbz, more like iCucks. While the comments from viewers were mostly lighthearted trolling, iDubbbz would deem it necessary to respond to the subset of fans that reacted negatively to the situation.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of iDubbbz Complains. This is a very special episode where I get to tackle two topics that I've recently become very passionate about. That is a section of my audience who thinks they know me, and my opinion on sex work.
Following this, iDubbbz would directly attack members of his audience who didn't approve of Anissa's new line of work, and made it clear he didn't care about their opinion.
A good amount of people are just doing the reasonable thing and just making jokes and laughing about it. But there's a whole nother group of people who feel personally devastated and betrayed. First up, we got Edward. He probably got told by a lot of people that he looks like iDubbbz, and he really liked that because iDubbbz was cool. But now that iDubbbz is a simp, now he's gonna go in full baby Wawa mode.
To try and prove the situation wasn't a big deal, iDubbbz claimed OF content had no impact on someone's future job prospects or social standing, which was an uphill argument.
I think this is one of the most important opinions to highlight because it really demonstrates a severe lack of real-world experience when you're saying that future jobs are gonna be harder to come by because of an OnlyFans account. Like, if you think this affects your standing or your social credibility in getting jobs, you are so sadly mistaken. This is straight out of the playbook of the boomer who's decaying in his lazy boy, who wants to tell you, no, that ain't gonna work. No one's gonna hire you looking like that.
Even though the video attempted to present several compelling points, the fact that iDubbbz was making a response to what most people would consider a non-issue only amplified the negativity towards him and his girlfriend. While most of the commentary community acknowledged that the controversy was overblown, they also made it clear that iDubbbz's response only made the situation much worse.
While he was getting into this video talking about, you know, the fans that he's cultivated that are highly toxic, he went on them and he finally gave them what they want, an emotional reaction. This would have died a week later anyways. Nobody would have talked about it. Get bored and start playing fucking Furcadia afterwards. The fact that you addressed it to over 1 million people, guess what? It's now going to be brought up for a while.
While this marked the first time iDubbbz overcorrected when it came to controversies involving him and his partner, it wouldn't be the last, as he would go on to repeat this pattern of emotionally responding to criticism. On the 8th of January 2022, a creator by the name of Sam Hyde published a video titled "The Truth About iDubbbz." At a first glance, this video seems like an expose piece about iDubbbz, but the 2-hour-long video was actually roughly cut footage from a documentary that Sam and iDubbbz filmed together several months prior. For a bit of context, Sam Hyde is an internet personality who made a career for himself by pushing the boundaries of what's considered acceptable in online comedy. The footage from the video was meant to be a part of another installment in iDubbbz's series of documentaries covering interesting online figures like Airsoft Fatty and Dax Flame.
The documentary hasn't come out. It's like 8 or 9 months ago we shot that footage, and it's clear that it's not coming out. And we took like 2 weeks of our time and shot a bunch of shit that's like really awesome. And we spent like we rented all that shit. We rented a T-Rex. Spent fucking $15,000 on things. So we got to release our footage.
Sam went on to explain that he and his team included several bits of misleading but comedic information during filming to both make the documentary more exciting and prevent iDubbbz from a hit piece.
We came up with a lot of funny ideas to like pull tricks and like I hired this crackhead girl to pretend to be my girlfriend, and we did all these funny like prank things, but it wasn't to make him look like an asshole, it was to like make his project funnier. I wanted to make a video with iDubbbz where it was like, oh my god, this is fucking crazy, mayhem, this is funny. Part of what went wrong was I think iDubbbz was kind of trying to punk me a little bit. Yeah. And like make me look like a guy that had like fallen off, which I have. Like I've fallen off, like undoubtedly.
Sam's cut of the documentary would garner over 3 million views and lead fans to theorize that the reason iDubbbz hadn't released his version was that he intended to misrepresent Sam. iDubbbz tried to make an on-location documentary following around Sam Hyde to mock him for being washed up. He never uploaded it. Now Sam is showing the footage and it's 2 hours of him and his crew fucking with Ian and making him seem like a meek, awkward nerd. Lamau. A month later, iDubbbz would upload his version of the documentary, titled Getting Away With It, during which he shed light on his thought process during filming. Apparently, iDubbbz wanted to get an authentic look into who Sam was beyond his comedic persona.
Back in March, we went to Rhode Island to film a documentary with Sam Hyde, who's known for his comedy videos. Thought it'd be interesting to get to know more about Sam, because not many people know much about him. He's a bit mysterious. He's a bit unwieldy.
Whether or not iDubbbz wanted to portray Sam negatively was anyone's guess. However, it was clear that the conflict of interest between both parties had affected the overall quality of the documentary. On one side, Sam wanted to create a comedic spectacle, while on the other, iDubbbz sought to make an introspective look into an elusive online personality. At the end of the day, neither side got what they wanted, and only walked away with a bit of feud between them. A feud that would only get worse with time. Later that year, iDubbbz would announce an influencer boxing event dubbed Creator Clash to raise money for different charities. Seeing a chance to settle a one-sided rivalry with Hassan Piker, Sam would request to be part of the event, but iDubbbz and Anissa almost immediately turned down the request.
There's been some talk of Sam Hyde getting involved in your event. Could you speak to that?
Yeah, we just did a live stream where we spoke to it a little bit, but if anyone saw the documentary Getting Away With It, we worked with Sam Hyde for a period. Involving him in our event just isn't a good idea. I think
just
most
a
people
massive
would.
business risk.
I think most people would understand that.
Yeah, it's a huge business risk. I mean,
to viewers, it almost seemed hypocritical for iDubbbz, an individual with a similar controversial past, to exclude Sam from the event for being a quote brand risk on Instagram that Sam wouldn't even be allowed to attend the Creator Clash event, with a comment from Sam reading, "To clarify, I bought 5 front row tickets and found out a few hours before the event that I was banned. So out about 11.5k, also security was walking around with pictures of my face and bothering some people about wearing my shirts. And the cameramen were told to avoid entire sections of the crowd rocking my shiz, lol. And I'd still train iDubbbz for the revenge match if he apologized. Mercy and Grace high on the list nowadays, just gotta ditch Yoko Ono," referring to Anissa. Sometime after Creator Clash, Sam would make an appearance on the Buckingham Show to share his thoughts on the entire debacle.
Question that you were gonna be on this card at any point?
No, I didn't think I was going to be on the card, but I didn't realize at any point that I was going to be fucking blacklisted from a charity event. I got 5 front row tickets. It was $10,000, and it's for charity. And supposedly I'm going to be refunded this money. So he wants me not around badly enough that it's worth taking away $10,000 from charity.
While the reason for his ban was never stated, Sam suspected that Anissa pushed iDubbbz to make the decision.
Like deep down, I want him to be uncucked. I want him to get the tattoos lasered off, get a normal haircut, get rid of Yoko Ono. That's poisonous. That relationship is poisonous. I think she's got to go, man. She's gonna ruin his life.
It wouldn't be the first time that people speculated that Anissa had played a role in iDubbbz making bad choices.
There's like some days where I ask Ian, like, have I ruined your life? Like, I feel like because you get so many messages where like you have to think about it. It's like Ian as a person has not changed very much in like regards to his like moral stance on a lot of things. But like Ian and how he feels about how he wants to put himself on the internet.
Regardless of the reason behind Sam's ban, public sentiment towards iDubbbz and Anissa was at an all-time low, and by the time Creator Clash 2 rolled around, it would only get worse. By the start of 2023, Sam had completely turned against iDubbbz and began highlighting the many issues fans had with him. During the lead up to the second creator clash, a fighter by the name of Froggy Fresh would become the focal point of online debate and controversy regarding the event. Not only was he being trained by Sam Hyde, but he also made some interesting comments about subscribing to Anissa's OF.
If I don't hurt you beyond what anybody could have imagined, I will be so disappointed in myself that I will subscribe to Anissa's own.
By the 25th of March 2023, just 2 days after Froggy made that comment, the Creator Clash Twitter account would make this announcement. There has been a change in the lineup, and Froggy Fresh will no longer be fighting against Chris Raygun. We will announce his replacement in the coming days. With just 3 weeks left, the countdown to Creator Clash 2 has begun. Creator Clash's goal is to make an inclusive and fun environment for creators and fans while giving back to charity. That has always been our mission, and Froggy Fresh's recent behavior does not align with that mission. We look forward to sharing this positive experience on April 15th. Since the reason for the ban was never stated, fans viewed the unexplained ban as another example of iDubbbz using a heavy-handed approach to silence someone he didn't like. As a result, Twitter erupted with criticism and negativity directed at iDubbbz and the whole Creator Clash event, with a tweet from Moist Critical stating, "I'm really disappointed by this. Kicking him for Twitter controversy after months of training is brutal. I don't think any jokes he made were intended to be mean-spirited or shit on anyone. Hopefully they reconsider this decision." In response to the overwhelming hostility towards the event, the organizers at Creator Clash released another statement that they hoped would clarify the reason for banning Froggy. "We want to provide some additional information around the rationale for this decision. We have a legally binding code of conduct that each of our Creator Clash 2 fighters are held to, the violation of which is grounds for termination. Unfortunately, there were several violations made by Froggy Fresh during his tenure with the Creator Clash this year. To add insult to injury, Creator Clash organizers threatened to sue Froggy and demanded he return the funds given to him to cover the training costs," with a tweet reading, "Now I've been threatened with a potential lawsuit if I spoke about this entire mess, and demanding the 15k I used for training, equipment, travel, etc. over the last 5 months? Unbelievable. Is this for charity or what's going on?" A month after Creator Clash 2, iDubbbz would come out with a video addressing the real reason Froggy was banned from the event.
The main reason Froggy was kicked from the card was for collaborating with Sam Hyde. And, for anyone who's been following the story, that's, fairly obvious. Froggy has explained, his side of the story multiple times. He's been perpetuating a narrative that it's about OnlyFans or that it's about Anissa's mom, and that's extremely deceptive.
iDubbbz would go on to explain that due to Sam making disparaging comments about Anissa, he didn't want him anywhere near the event.
So yeah, now that this guy is on the daily insulting my wife, I think it's pretty fair to, not want to associate with him in any way. I don't like him. And Froggy knows that. Froggy knows that I don't like him. Of course. That's why he was banned.
In addition to this, iDubbbz would also address the claims that he and Creator Clash were suing Froggy.
By the way, we weren't suing Froggy. We have no interest in going to court over $15,000. We wanted that $15,000 back, but, he wasn't giving it to us. So we have to leave it at that. We're not suing him.
While iDubbbz was transparent about his decision to ban Sam and anyone associated with him, the reaction to the video would be overwhelmingly negative for obvious reasons. To make matters worse, Froggy would release a legal document that confirmed Creator Clash did indeed threaten him with legal action, reading, "If he failed to return the enclosed acknowledgement by the specified date, Creator Clash shall seek all remedies available by law and equity due to your material breach of the bout agreement, including without limitation seeking punitive and consequential damages." The troubles for the Creator Clash brand wouldn't stop there, as it was later revealed that the event lost over $250,000 due to overspending and mismanagements. Another noteworthy point in iDubbbz's response video was how he expressed discontent with his edgy content cop phase.
Despite many people being entertained by it, I'm not trying to take that away from you. If you feel like you've learned important lessons or you have grown as a person because of the content I've made, I don't want to take that away from you. With some good can come a lot of bad. And I think I've done a lot of bad.
iDubbbz would echo this sentiment in a video titled "I Miss the Old iDubbbz," in which he apologized to viewers for building his career on hatred, harassment, and negativity.
I've realized that I need to be crystal clear about what I believe, so there's no room for ambiguity. I am responsible for creating a lot of hurtful and damaging content on this channel. I have made some cruel, hurtful content, and I need to acknowledge that, and I'm really sorry that it's taken me this long to acknowledge it.
While iDub seemed to be making a genuine attempt to right what he thought were wrongs in his early days on YouTube, many of his fans would see this as him being insecure about the man he once was, and a betrayal of the fan base that made him famous to begin with comments reading, "You weren't funny because you were offensive. You were just a very funny dude. You can be self-aware and still be funny." There are some people who fully deserve the content cop that they got, as well as the old iDubbbz would have never addressed the people saying they miss the quote, old iDubbbz, unquote. Sadly, iDubbbz's lack of confidence in himself as a creator would bleed into other projects that he was a part of, and viewers would take notice.
Special guest, Ian. Ian has flown all the way here to Albania to test these gadgets in this undisclosed location and studio kitchen with us. What will happen? Will someone get electrocuted? Will a hot dog blow up?
With comments reading, "You guys are lucky he could fit you in between his wife's tattoo appointments." This is how a dog who's been ruthlessly abused his whole life acts when he enters a new loving home. As well as, only one guy was missing for the whole gang to be reunited again. Well, actually two, because Ian wasn't there. That was just a robot with Ian's skin. iDubbbz made a name for himself by having no filter and being direct with the content that he created. Understandably, he would mature over the years and move away from making the edgy content, but the way he went about it completely alienated his core fan base. A good example of this was how he frequently threw his viewers under the bus in interviews.
I did not like the interactions that I had with fans. There were quite a few human beings that I interacted with.
In person?
Yeah, in person, that just sucked. They just sucked because I attracted a lot of people who suck. Antisocial, weird, basement dwellers, and the one time a month that they come out of their cave is going to restock on supplies at Walmart, and they run into me, their favorite YouTuber.
Combine this with his approach to other edgy creators like Sam Hyde, and it was only a matter of time before fans began to resent him. Over the past few years, iDubbbz has continued to lose his fan base, with his channel dropping over 700,000 subscribers. Whether his unenthusiastic approach to content creation was due to recent uploads struggling to reach 1 million views, backlash from fans, or remorse for his past actions was anyone's guess. However, we can only hope that iDubbbz is able to pull himself out of this slump and return to being the YouTube legend he once was. And when a creator's identity changes too quickly, the backlash can become the new identity. From being one of the most respected music reviewers on YouTube to having mental breakdowns on stream.
Leave me and my partner alone, and I'm gonna keep making videos every single day. Let's do it every single day because you.
Bradley Lemon, aka Brad's Taste in Music, has had one of the most chaotic and bizarre downfalls in recent YouTube history. One that left his fans confused, concerned, and angry at the same time. And today, we'll be looking into the unfortunate demise of Brad Taste in Music, how a series of bad decisions and poor responses broke down his public image and turned him into a lolcow. Brad began his YouTube career in March of 2017 with a meme song about Eminem.
Hi, my name is Eminem. Your girl wanted Eminem, so I gave her an Eminem.
This didn't go super viral, but it still performed well enough to encourage Brad to continue making videos. But instead of sticking to memes, Brad quickly transitioned into posting album reviews.
Hey viewers, Bradley here with a review for Forced Witness by Alex Cameron.
These reviews took strong inspiration from other popular music YouTubers at the time, like Anthony Fantano, allowing him to cultivate a small audience. However, his channel wouldn't take off until a year later, when he came up with a genius idea. Instead of just posting his thoughts, he started including his first-time reaction to a song or album in his videos.
I just felt like I just zapped through a portal. That was awesome.
His viewers found this new format to be a lot more engaging than the plain reviews. And then, in April of 2018, Brad's channel saw its first viral video. His reaction to the Black Parade album, My Chemical Romance, became incredibly popular, racking up hundreds of thousands of views. By 2019, he had gained over 40,000 subscribers, and this number increased to over 100,000 subscribers just 2 years later. During this time, he also started taking YouTube a lot more seriously and even dropped out of college to pursue his online career. And to further expand and monetize his content, he started live streaming as well. This was a great move, as these streams quickly became the biggest source of income for his channel. Looking back, however, it's obvious that these streams were also the beginning of his eventual downfall. You see, live streams allowed viewers to request reviews of certain albums, but instead of just fulfilling these demands, Brad came up with a clever monetization scheme. Put simply, viewers had to donate up to $400 for Brad Brad to consider their request. This, combined with the earnings from his regular videos, meant that Brad was raking in huge amounts every month, and that's where everything started going downhill. As time went on, viewers started noticing some odd behavior from Brad. He was streaming almost every day, being his usual self, but something felt off about his demeanor. The truth came out in January of 2022, when Brad uploaded a video titled, "I've been turning around my life." In this video, Brad came clean about his severe weed addiction and how sitting in front of a computer all day was ruining his mental health.
I had a bad weed addiction. I discovered weed, and it was just like, it felt like it gave me a new life. And by that, I mean, I forgot everything that happened beforehand and became really isolated, and it felt like I was living on a different planet.
He had more money than he knew what to do with, so he turned to weed for stimulation, and it backfired horribly.
I heard you mentioning a struggle with disassociation. I've been having the same experience for years after a bad
I appreciate that. It's not that I'm happy that you're going through it. It's just nice to know that someone else, like, I'm just not alone in this shit.
Thankfully, Brad recognized the issue with this addiction and promised to cut it out of his life completely.
Right now I'm about 5 months clean, which is awesome. But even though I'm 5 months clean, still think about it every day. So, still got a long way to go.
This connected deeply with many viewers who had similar struggles, with one comment stating, "As someone who has struggled with depression, anxiety, and hefty reliance on weed, these videos give me hope that I can turn it around. I'm glad you're doing better, Brad. Small steps lead to greater leaps." If left unchecked, this addiction would have completely ruined his life and career. Fortunately, he was making good progress and even posted update videos detailing his journey. During this time, Brad also started including more and more political commentary in his content.
Now, I take blame for this. I've made content that's very much encouraged people to say some stupid shit like, you know, Japanese music showing up as anime music, or reggaeton is all copy and paste garbage. Another one being there's a lot of Asian hate casually just thrown in the mix as well.
Most of his opinions, like the ones about people writing off music simply because of its originating country, were fairly valid and level-headed. And because of his good takes, many of his fans started paying attention to his political views, even more than his musical opinions. Unfortunately, this ended up having horrible consequences for Brad's online reputation. It all started in June of 2024, when Brad posted a now-deleted picture with Ethan and Hila Klein from the H3 podcast. Now, taking a picture with a popular podcaster should be a relatively inoffensive thing. However, due to his previous political views, a large portion of his audience took issue with these photos. For those who don't know, both Ethan and Hila are Jewish. Hila is also from Israel and was even part of the mandatory Israeli Defense Force program. So for these particular fans, Brad taking a picture with the host of the H3 podcast was akin to him supporting genocidal Zionists. This led to tons of backlash on Twitter and other social platforms. Brad tried to calm things down by providing an explanation on Twitter, stating, "I'm aware that being around Ethan and Hill at the moment is very questionable. I wanted to meet them despite people's valid criticisms of them. I'm aware this is a bad look, and posting a photo with them upsets many people. Not the best decision on my part." However, instead of calming things down, it made matters even worse for Brad, with a reply stating, "Wait, you know they were problematic, and why? Then why would you ever want to meet them? If you knew Ethan/Hilla were Zionists, why even risk your reputation for that meeting?" Where Brad tried to further justify his actions by saying, "I wanted to meet them because they were famous, and I had the opportunity to watch a creator who was a pivotal part of my childhood and early YouTube adventures." He also made a series of tweets voicing his support for Palestine, stating, "What's happening right now in Palestine is awful beyond comprehension, and I finally understand why it's been so hard for me to speak about it. I said that I stayed quiet because I didn't know enough, but truthfully, I felt like I couldn't listen. Members of my family have died at the hands of Hamas, and it honestly has been one of the hardest situations I've ever been presented. I understand why people are upset, and I want to make it very clear that I stand with the people of Palestine. I haven't talked to many of my family members in months because they believe Israel's horrific actions are justified. I know they are not. Israel is committing genocide against the Palestinian people. I'm going to do my best to keep educating myself and listen to Palestinian voices, and I hope you guys are able to be patient with me as I genuinely try to learn." Some fans tried to defend Brad from the backlash, with one of them telling Brad that his quote, being way too harsh on himself, and that not everything has to be tied back to something controversial controversial. But by this point, Brad was on board with denouncing Ethan and Healer, stating, "The famous people in question are hated by a lot of people for really strong and dangerous opinions, and I plastered my smiling face next to them and posted it online. I've become sloppy. I should be more harsh on myself. I'm better than that." He even apologized directly for posting the picture, with a tweet reading, "This image made a statement that I did not intend. I'd like to apologize for people who were hurt or upset by this." Brad likely thought that completely backtracking and throwing Ethan and Healer under the bus would end the controversy. However, things were about to get a whole lot worse. This is because Ethan would respond on his Instagram, where he called out Brad for declaring him to be a genocidal Zionist without doing any research on his actual views regarding the Israel-Palestine situation. This divided the internet even further, with one group supporting Brad's decision to go against the H3 podcast hosts, and the other criticizing him for not having a concrete stance on the matter, and this was starting to destroy Brad's mental health, leading to a breakdown on Instagram, reading, "I genuinely don't understand how anyone is supposed to handle the amount of noise that comes from having any opinion. I think I've seen every single side of the situation be mad at me for a different reason. I'm either doing too much or not doing enough, and trying to make everyone happy is killing me." Unfortunately for Brad, this was only the beginning of his troubles. In July 2024, Brad would make another massive mistake when he promoted a small content creator by the name of Rose Malay on his community tab, with a post reading, "Rose is a creator who I've known for a long time, and they are making huge improvements as a content creator and a person as of recently, and it's worth watching their work. They recently made a fantastic video listening to tons of bad music, and now they have a sample video in the same style. It's fantastic, and clearly a ton of work was placed into it." On the surface, her channel looked relatively harmless. However, a single look at her previous Twitter posts tells a completely different story, with horrendous takes like, "Consent is stupid. Is natural and necessary for a happy and healthy society. Why is the modern world so miserable? Because are treated as criminals instead of cherished for their masculinity." In another tweet, she even defended bestiality, claiming she doesn't know why it's illegal, with a tweet reading, "I don't understand why it's illegal for a dog to lick my blank when gay men lick each other's blanks all the time, and it's perfectly legal." Some people try to interpret these as nothing more than awful edgy jokes. However, her continued ramblings on the same topics made it clear that these were her genuine opinions, with another tweet reading, "So much of the misconceptions about me can be attributed to this, by the way, my pacifism being misinterpreted as supporting really bad people's actions. No, I don't think it's justified for someone to be murdered because they g***ed someone. Again, time will clearly vindicate me on this." Brad once again received loads of backlash for promoting her channel, but instead of backpedaling as he did with Ethan and Healer, Brad decided to defend Rose, with a tweet reading, "She's incredibly traumatized and likely mentally ill. She isn't a monster, just someone who really needs attention and will say some really messed up shit to get it. She knows this. She's trying to learn from it and grow." This led to even harsher criticism from his audience, who now saw him as a complete hypocrite, leading to another meltdown on stream.
It's like every day is hard, and I have to just cope with the new way that my brain works. But I don't want you guys to feel bad for me, because it was my decision.
At this point, Brad could have stayed quiet, and the Rose Malay controversy would have fizzled out in a few weeks. Brad, however, did something that made the situation significantly worse. In a surprise to everyone, he changed his stance once again, and spoke out against Rose, apologizing for promoting her. "I'm sorry for platforming Rose Malay. I really wanted to believe this person could change. I saw my own mental disability in this person, but they've said some of the most awful and evil stuff I've ever heard and seen." Whilst many praised his apology, Rose did not like it one bit.
It's very weird to have somebody one day tell you that they're advocating for you so strongly and so publicly, and tell you that it's okay to make mistakes, only for the next day for them to publicly bash you.
Likely out of bitterness towards Brad, she decided it was time to go full scorched earth on Brad, and released a now deleted video titled, "Brad Taste in Music is Lying to You." During this video, she would lay out all the dirty laundry she had on Brad.
I believe they were trans. I was so wrapped up in my own shit that I was just like, I don't care about your gender. And hey, you're
I was transphobic at 17. I liked Trump at 17.
Rose remembers. I can tell you for sure that I've said the N-word, but you guys already knew this. Come on. Oh my God, I know, it's terrible. You guys are acting like you've never said something you weren't supposed to say before. Come on.
This also included evidence of Brad lying about things to save face in front of his audience.
Brad claimed on both his Twitter and his community tab that he was not aware of my comments. That is a blatant lie. here is a tweet from May of 2018 where he very clearly is responding to one of my comments about rape. And here is a second tweet where he is very clearly responding to one of my comments about rape. Those tweets are both still up. So for him to say that he had no idea is just a blatant lie.
She also revealed screenshots of him telling Rose that he doesn't care about what she posts, reading, "Nah, just be you. I don't care what you post. No one is even that petty about me following you. Those people before were just really toxic about it," where Rose ended the video with a striking reveal about Brad's true personality.
My issue is that he is a hypocrite. What he believes privately is often very different from what he believes publicly. And he's even said in the past, the only real difference between me and him is that I say what I believe openly, whereas he is much more careful about his public image and often doesn't reveal his true belief.
By this point, Brad had lost the trust of the majority of his audience, and his career was at rock bottom. Or at least, everyone thought it was rock bottom, because things got even worse with accusations of theft. In August of 2024, a Twitter user by the name of Peruko accused Brad of putting them in a $411 debt. Apparently, Brad hired Peruko for an editing job and helped them buy professional editing software. But then, out of nowhere, Brad refunded the amount, leading to Peruko's PayPal account being $411 Canadian dollars in debt. When Peruko brought this up to Brad, he sent less than half the money back, and then started avoiding Peruko by ghosting their messages and telling her to sort things out with PayPal support instead. He did eventually returned Peruko the money he owed, but not before her tweets caused yet another wave of backlash. And his explanation for this whole fiasco? Well, it was because he was quoted disabled and misunderstood. He further clarified that he refunded Peruko because his glasses were broken and he has poor reading comprehension. How the two things are related is a mystery. He even went live to address the situation, only to declare himself as the victim.
I actually am a victim here. That's the crazy part. This is like the first time where I'm saying, hey, I'm actually being like horrifically mistreated online. I am actually being hurt by someone, like maliciously.
After experiencing 3 major controversies, one after the other, Brad's mental health began spiraling out of control. A few days later, he went on stream, claiming that he was in a dire financial situation and needed his fans to donate $10,000.
I'm gonna ask help from you guys. Financial help. Like, right now, I need enough money to support my family, and basically, I need enough money to last about a month, right? So in total, maybe about 10 grand.
Unfortunately for Brad, the e-begging would only turn even more of his own fans against him, with a tweet reading, "I despise this man on so many levels beyond his actual music taste, truly lolcow status," as well as, "Brad, get a job, loser." So when demanding $10,000 from his audience didn't work, Brad's mental state deteriorated even further, leading to this.
I under no circumstance can listen to this album right now, because I am not safe in my own home.
This made everyone concerned about his safety, but his girlfriend Tina quickly assured everyone that they were both safe. Luckily, his latest mental breakdown on stream led to a happier ending, as on the 6th of September, Brad posted a video titled "Peace Out," in which he revealed that he is actually getting the help he needs.
Bradley here, letting you know that I am going to rehab. Yep. About 2 months, it's intensive outpatient care, and I'm not going to be uploading.
And his core fans absolutely loved this outcome, with a comment reading, "Brad, I've regained a lot of respect for you. To realize the problem is one thing, then to act on it is another. Best of luck, I have the faith you can succeed. Love you, man. Peace." But even this isn't the end of Brad's story, since despite claiming that he's taking a step back from content creation, he resumed uploading videos a week later. Though from the look of things, he's still continuing rehab, which is ultimately a good thing. Unfortunately, a few days later, his girlfriend hinted on Twitter that she had broken up with Brad, which, as a commenter on Reddit points out, is likely a good thing for both of them, with a comment reading, "Honestly, good for them both, especially Tina. Like someone else said, there's only so much she can do for him. Hopefully, he does not go on a Twitter rant in the upcoming minutes/hours. So here's to hoping he completes rehab, takes time for his mental health, and returns to a better man." The next story shows how quickly a career can collapse when one controversy becomes impossible to outrun. I'm genuinely baffled at how this guy has an audience after all the shit he has said and done. He should get insta-banned on all platforms and thrown in jail. This comment perfectly summarizes the way the internet feels about the political streamer Destiny. And judging from the way things are right now, it's only downhill from here. From laughing about doxing someone,
I literally just doxed that girl. The one that tried to throw egg on me like a a week or two ago. Like, I don't give a fuck about like doxing.
To proudly claiming to be pro-genocide.
I'm pro-genocide. Like, it sounds really shitty, but like, I think that Israel should just drop its fucking borders about where it is now, and basically Palestinians can go live in another place. That's really shitty, but like, that's about where I'm at.
And even defending PDF files.
Let's say there's a person that's like 30 years old and tries to like randomly like 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds. That wouldn't be, I don't think that would be considered grooming.
Destiny has managed to get away with doing and saying a lot of horrible stuff over the years. His most recent scandal involves him secretly recording his partners in bed and then sharing those videos with strangers without consent. When the allegations first came out, he probably thought he would dodge the consequences like always. However, the consequences of his own actions have finally caught up with him. This controversy has sparked enough backlash to sink his online reputation for good, and there's nothing he can do to avoid his fate this time. But before we get into what he's done, let's take a brief look at who Destiny even is. Stephen Kenneth Burnell II, better known as Destiny, started his online career in 2011 after quitting his job as a carpet cleaner. He began streaming StarCraft 2 on now-defunct streaming sites like Livestream.com, Ustream.tv, and Justin TV, which later became Twitch.
Cam, we got this. Force field, do it. Cut the army in half.
That same year, he joined an esports team for StarCraft 2 and started competing professionally.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us. This is Cats Pajamas here for IGN Pro League. Once again, I am joined by Stephen Burnell, one Root Destiny. Thanks very much for joining us, and congratulations on IPL Season 2 qualification.
His success in esports gave him the exposure to transition into full-time streaming, a path he pursued for the next 5 years. However, starting in 2016, Destiny began shifting his focus away from gaming and more towards politics.
Who do you think won the vice presidential debate?
Depends on how you define winning.
Well, how do you define winning? What do you care about in these debates?
I care about people that are adhering to the truth.
Surprisingly, his political content quickly became far more popular than his gaming content ever was, resulting in him gaining nearly 1.2 million subscribers on YouTube and over 800,000 followers on streaming platforms. But for many of his early fans, his switch to political content signaled a turn for the worse. And unfortunately, their fears turned out to be completely justified. As time went on, Destiny started having more and more unhinged takes on sensitive topics, like defending the distribution of CP based on his extremely flawed logic.
Men that are given access to child pornography have a higher chance of not actually committing pedophilia actions in real life, and I would argue that that would be a moral good, that if you can prevent people from acting on those urges, that's something that should be explored.
This quickly turned him into one of the most controversial streamers on the internet. However, these outlandish statements also allowed him to build a cult-like loyal fan base, one that was willing to defend him no matter what he did. As a comment on Reddit puts it, Destiny is the only guy who can literally get away with whatever he wants because his fans brigade internet spaces until the narrative is so diluted that people forget what a piece of shit hack fraud he is. With a fan base willing to defend him at all costs, Destiny had no incentive to hold back, leading to a long list of controversies that only grew worse over time. Unfortunately, there's no practical way to cover every single horrible thing he's said or done over the course of his career. There's simply too much to go over. That said, most of his unhinged behavior falls into a few clear categories. The first of which is him being a massive creep. Like in 2015, when an adult star posted a tweet about getting essayed by a co-star. The tweet will have to be censored due to how graphic it is. However, after coming across this, a normal person would either offer support or just ignore the tweet and move on. Destiny, however, took a much darker route, choosing to insult her and other survivors of Grape with vile comments like, "Jesus, why not file an effing police report instead of tweeting this? You're effing disgusting, what an effing idiot." When someone called him out for his unhinged comment saying, "Stephen Burnell, why don't you write us a long list of everything you feel a survivor of Grape should do? Then I'll use it to wipe my ass." Destiny doubled down and made things worse. He responded with, "Survivor of Grape? It's Grape, not murder, not beheading, not a fatal car crash. Everyone survives Grape. Get over yourself." From here, things only got worse. Survivor of Grape here, hello. Want to talk about how hard it is to go on every day? Where Destiny would respond with, "Blank yourself so you don't have to live with the pain." But his disgusting rant didn't end here. Right after this, Destiny got into an argument with another woman over the definition of grape. She posted an argument stating, "Stephen Burnell, ignoring a safe word and not stopping when someone asks is ignoring consent and is grape. Go F yourself." And instead of presenting a counter argument, moment, Destiny completely flew off the handle, wishing violence on her in a horrific response. Yourself, you effing. I hope you get raped with a effing shovel until you bleed out your effing and die wholly. This, along with several other instances of him mocking and belittling assault victims, is why many in the YouTube community see him as a great apologist. However, even this pales in comparison to his disturbing stance on PDF files, which includes defending their actions.
I don't like predators, period. I don't care if you're offending or not offending.
Okay, hold on. Who disagrees with Brittany? Who disagrees with Brittany?
What, if you just because you molest a child doesn't
I
make
don't
you a pedophile. That's not.
Claiming that an adult s***ing a minor is not grooming.
Let's say there's a person that's like 30 years old and tries to like randomly sext like 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds. That wouldn't be, I don't think that would be considered grooming.
And even debating the quote benefits of CP.
Apparently, men that are given access to child pornography have a higher chance of not actually committing pedophilia actions in real life, and I would argue that that would be a moral good, that if you can prevent people from acting on those urges, that's something that should be explored.
What about child pornography?
That's kind of a different thing. There's like moral versus pragmatic sides of that. I've seen a little bit of evidence on the pragmatic side, and it seems like an okay thing. I probably shouldn't say that, or it sounds.
He has also gone on record to say that he finds some underage girls hot.
And again, like some of it, I guess, sounds uncomfortable to some people. Like if you're being real, like a 21-year-old, 22-year-old, like there are some 15, 16-year-old chicks that like look pretty fucking hot. Like I can't help that. Like some people mature old.
Now, some might argue that he's simply playing devil's advocate in most of these cases and doesn't actually believe anything he's saying. But even if we give him benefit of the doubt, there's no plausible justification for these tweets from July of 2022. It all started with Max Carson, who posted a poll on Twitter asking women, quote, "At what age should men start ogling/flirting with you?" And when a girl named Courtney replied to this tweet with 10, Destiny replied to her asking for pictures, stating, "You were hot at 10? Any pics?" She actually sent him the pictures. And after taking a good look at them, Destiny replied with one of the most unbelievably disgusting statements he could, reading, "Jesus, I've never wanted to bend someone over the hood of their little tykes so bad." For those who don't know, Little Tykes is the name of a mini car for children. Some of his fans tried to brush it off as just an edgy joke, but most people weren't buying it. They were rightfully disgusted and pushed back hard, writing, "Before people say it's a joke, the message of the joke is that he finds a 10-year-old hot, and even if the second tweet is a joke, that's a big fucking if. How could anyone possibly explain the first tweet where he explicitly asks for pictures of a 10-year-old to evaluate if she's hot?" Now, this alone would have been enough to bury most creators. But with Destiny, this is barely the tip of the iceberg. Because in addition to being a massive, unapologetic creep, he also has a history of justifying extreme violence against others without a shred of remorse. And one of the most prominent examples of this is his continued apathy towards Palestinian people, like boldly declaring that he's quote pro-genocide and that the Palestinians can go live somewhere else, all while laughing maniacally.
Honestly, I'm pro-genocide. It sounds really shitty, but like I think that Israel should just draw up its borders about where it is now, and basically Palestinians can go live in another place. That's really shitty, but like that's about where I'm at.
Or claiming that the Palestinian genocide doesn't exist because according to him, if Israel wanted to genocide Palestinians, then they would only exist in history books. Maybe Destiny thought this was a clever argument to support his claims, and from the looks of things, he was likely trying to argue the semantics of the word genocide, but it backfired spectacularly. Regardless of his intentions, many people online pointed out how tone-deaf and cruel his comments were, tearing apart his logic with responses like, quote, "It's only genocide when the job is done," is a hell of a take. And imagine saying the Holocaust wasn't a genocide because the Nazis didn't get every single Jew. Destiny is just receiving new loads of idiocy. That said, this wasn't the worst of it. The controversy escalated even further during his March 31st, 2024 stream, where he somehow managed to hit new levels of absurdity. About 2 hours and 20 minutes into the stream, Destiny came across a tweet reading, "An unprecedented TV investigation by CNN captures some of the cases documented by the Euromed HR of the sniper operations and by the Israeli army of Palestinian citizens carrying white flags." This piqued Destiny's interest, leading to him watching the video attached to the tweet. At one point in the video, a person gets shot and his wife runs towards him in grief. And instead of showing any sympathy, this is what he had to say after watching this play out.
So you're saying the woman was acting? I don't think the woman was acting. She probably was sincerely sad. Her husband got fucking killed. But I think they were farming TikTok clips.
This was a bit too far, even for his own viewers. But when his chat tried to call him out on this, he responded with something even more degenerate.
Destiny, come on, how is this not pure dehumanization of these people? Even look at chat's reaction, this is fucked. Because they're doing it to themselves. You're dehumanizing yourself. You're suiciding and sacrificing your civilian population.
A comment on YouTube also points out the irony of a streamer claiming that the people in the video were farming TikToks. Reading, "Holy shit, Destiny just watched execution footage and said that the very clearly innocent civilians who were doing everything in their power to get to safety, being shot at, were farming TikToks. This guy is watching this on a live stream, which he is definitely making money from. What is this world that I live in?" That said, Destiny's reckless endorsement of extreme violence extends far beyond the Israel-Palestine conflict. In a live stream, he also supported the idea of black rioters getting gunned down by white militia during the BLM protests.
The rioting needs to fucking stop. And if that means like white redneck fucking militia dudes out there mowing down dipshit protesters that think that they could torch buildings at 10 p.m., then at this point they have my fucking blessing, because holy shit, this fucking shit needs to stop. It needed to stop a long time ago. Like, holy fuck.
Granted, he was referring to violent rioters who were destroying property during protests, but for most people, suggesting that an unrelated group should just come in and gun down civilians crosses a line. He crossed a similar line when he insinuated that the innocent person who died at the Donald Trump shooting somehow deserved it because of his political leanings.
Fuck the dude, the firefighter guy, fuck Trump, fuck the people that support him. I just want you to know, okay, just in case you're confused or it seems like I'm, whatever. If one of you were in the crowd and you're a conservative fan of mine and you end up, getting blown away or whatever the fuck, I'm making fun of you the next day on Twitter.
The backlash for this was swift and intense, resulting in his Twitter account getting demonetized. He also received a temporary ban from Kick, which was surprising considering how long it took them to ban literal PDF files like RiotLol, with a commenter stating, "If you get banned on Kick, you're a special type of special." However, this didn't stop him from repeating the same rhetoric in later videos.
But it's another thing to mock a innocent Trump supporter that died. The guy didn't have any power. He wasn't a politician. He was just a dude. I don't like—
He wasn't just a dude. He was a guy that was posting a ton of inflammatory shit on his social media, who was at a rally for one of the most inflammatory candidates of all time.
This also highlights a crucial part of Destiny's character. Put simply, he does not fear the consequences of his actions. Or at least, that was true until his latest controversy, one that could ruin his life forever. It all started on November the 9th, 2024, when a person named Solo Tiny Leaks posted a few cryptic messages on the Destiny forum on a site called Kiwi Farms, which is a message board infamous for doxing and leaks. These messages read, "Is this stuff public yet? Not sure if it's any interest of you guys. I only sent to a few streamers. What exactly can I leak here? I want to dump everything. It's about to be a very white Christmas." Alongside these, Solo Tiny Leaks also uploaded dozens of attachments, including screenshots of his conversations with multiple people and explicit videos of him and his partners. But before we get into these leaks, we need some important context involving Destiny and his ex-wife Melina. Melina and Destiny were in an open relationship where they were allowed to see other people as long as the other partner knew about them. However, in mid-2023, rumors began circulating the internet that Destiny was secretly dating another creator by the name of Lauren Southern. This was quite odd, considering Lauren's political leanings towards being a white nationalist. Destiny, on the other hand, claimed to be on the liberal left, essentially the exact opposite of Lauren. So if the two were actually dating, that would go against everything Destiny was preaching through his content. Viewers also began speculating if Melina was aware of this supposed relationship and began asking her for answers. And even though she was appearing more and more in his content as time went on, Destiny continued to deny any romantic involvement with Lauren. During this time, Melina and Destiny also got divorced, adding even more fuel to the rumor mill. However, for the next few months, it just remained that, a rumor. That is, until these leaks by Solo Tiny Leaks, which included screenshots of messages between Destiny and Lauren, confirming that they were indeed a thing. The leaks also included a transcript of the last message Lauren sent to Destiny before breaking up, showing just how close the two were. More importantly, the messages revealed that Destiny was actually cheating on Melina without her knowledge, something she later confirmed in a video. She also talked about how Destiny said that she was crazy and needed therapy when she brought up the possibility of him having an affair with Lauren.
I didn't know about it, that's the thing. Like, I could feel, I could sense something, but I got told that I was crazy and that what I felt was wrong. And like I got told to go to therapy.
Put simply, these leaks confirmed that Destiny, 1, didn't care about politics as much as he presented in his streams and videos, and 2, that he was a liar who managed to cheat on his wife despite being in an open relationship. This enraged most of his loyal fans who felt like they were being lied to for years, with one viewer referring to Destiny as a quote, Weasley little liar dude. However, the backlash from this cheating drama was quickly overshadowed by something far more sinister. You see, the leaks also included dozens of videos of Destiny being intimate with his many partners. Most people assumed that Solo Tiny Leaks somehow gained access to Destiny's phone or computer and stole these videos from there, but the reality was far more disturbing. As it turns out, Destiny had actually willingly shared these videos with a 19-year-old girl on Discord called Rose in exchange for pictures of her feet, and she was the one who got hacked by Solo Tiny Leaks. To make matters worse, Destiny shared these videos without asking for permission from his partners, who were also clearly visible in them. This included his ex-wife, who confirmed that he shared what's basically revenge her without her consent or knowledge.
Things that just happened, the past month, things that's been done to me without consent or anything. that has been my past 5 years. that energy, you know?
After learning about these leaks, people also started digging through Destiny's old content, and it didn't take long for someone to find a clip of him admitting to having a collection of such videos that he shares with other people.
I kind of like have like my little archive of like Coomer material that I'll send to people if I want to. There were girls that I talked to past that I'd send stuff of like either me or Melina.
However, Melina was just one of the several partners who were visible in these videos. The second victim was a streamer named Pixie, but unlike Melina, who just wanted to stay as far away from Destiny as possible, Pixie went on the offensive. She contacted Destiny directly and asked for financial compensation in exchange for sharing her explicit videos without her consent. In a conversation with one of Destiny's friends, she wrote, "I want this to be the most expensive mistake of his life, and I'm essentially asking him to self-punish himself in a way I don't think he'll like or agree to without the law involved." When this conversation became public, some people started hating her for trying to extort Destiny, while others fully supported her plan, with one person writing, "Maybe I have shitty morals, but I don't take issue with her attempting to extort him in the way she did. There's no guarantee that she would have gotten anything the legal way with the power and money imbalance he has over her, and I would guess that if it went to courts and fans found out, she would be endlessly harassed compared to if he paid privately." However, the backlash from people who disagreed with her approach caused her to do a complete 180, which she announced in a tweet reading, "On November 29, the streamer Destiny non-consensually shared my nudes, making me a victim of revenge porn. I will be suing him in federal court." Alongside this, she also shared a lengthy statement detailing her story and the exact charges she plans to bring against Destiny. That said, at least both Pixie and Melina were aware that they were being recorded, even if the videos were later shared without their consent. Destiny's third victim, on the other hand, didn't even know that much. On January 21st, 2025, streamer Cherry shared her side of the story on Twitter, stating, "Today, I was made aware of an intimate audio recording taken of me without my consent. That was also shared without my consent. I'm upset right now, and I'm going to give myself time to process." In a later tweet, she confirmed that she was also filing a police report against Destiny. Destiny's initial response to this whole thing, however, was more nonchalant than it should have been.
$20 says Melina recently confirmed that the sex tapes leaked by Destiny.
Jesus Christ.
The girl were shared by Destiny
Nice,
without
good
his
one,
consent.
good one, nice. Yes.
If she has no
Can
legal
I've got a whole bunch of super chats for you. Wick, ready?
Even the title of his lackluster statement on Reddit, "Legal Arc Beginning in Mysterious Ways Such Wow," was as unserious as possible. More importantly, it didn't provide the answers people were looking for, with the top comment under this post reading, "I want one answer and one answer only. Did you send Pixie's blanks non-consensually to someone you were chatting with on Discord? Your post does not answer this." However, while most people criticized him for this weak and incomplete response, one person chose to give Destiny the benefit of the doubt, writing, "The evidence of that is clear in other places. The answer is yes. What is unknown is if Destiny had some conversation with Pixie that would lead him to believe he could share these videos privately with others. What this person most likely didn't expect at the time was that their speculation might turn out to be the truth." On the 21st of February 2025, Destiny came out with his second response, which is a lot more comprehensive than anything he said before, suggesting that he's finally taking the matter seriously. He shared a lengthy file containing his statement, including links to screenshots supporting his claims. He also went over the whole thing during a live stream.
On January 20th,
2025, Pixie created a Substack post, which you can see here, signaling her intent to sue me. She has since filed her lawsuit in which she claims I shared explicit material we created together without her permission.
One of the first points he addressed is why it took him this long to come out with a statement. And according to Destiny, a big reason behind his delayed response is because Pixie asked him not to confirm that she was part of these leaks. Reading, once the leaker published and hosted all of my explicit content on Kiwi Farms, Pixie messaged me and informed me that she didn't want confirmation of her in any part of the material. As such, I made no public statement regarding any of her appearance in any of the leaked material. Destiny also included screenshots of a conversation between them to back this claim, reading, I don't want to have to testify or be named or anything. As far as people ask me, I'm saying it's a lookalike. Yeah, okay, I haven't confirmed/denied anything at all publicly and I never will do so. And I'll double check with you before anything ever gets mentioned in a police report or court order or anything. I don't foresee this being a thing, just in case. Please don't tell anyone privately either if they ask if it's actually me or not. From there, he discussed his perspective on the timeline of this controversy and how things unfolded from his point of view. The most significant part of this statement, however, came near the end, where Destiny claimed that Pixie wasn't as innocent as she seemed, stating, Pixie would message people to tell them that she had never ever sent videos of other people to me before, and she portrayed herself in her Substack as though I was the first person to ever suggest this to her, and I was the first person she ever recorded material with. This statement and implication, however, are both false. She'd send videos of her and other guys multiple times prior to us ever meeting, and requested material from me as well. It was also her who suggested multiple times that we record stuff when we meet later in 2020. Destiny also alleged that she never mentioned having consent of the men who were in these videos with her. Put simply, he's claiming that even though there was never any explicit consent to share those videos, Pixie's past behavior made it so that consent was assumed. After all, according to Destiny, she was repeatedly sending explicit videos of her and others to him, and possibly others without consent, and wanted to record videos herself. He then ended the statement by providing some behind-the-scenes updates on the lawsuit, including the fact that Pixie asked for a $15 million compensation during early negotiations. Now, while this response did manage to win over some fans and bring them back to Destiny's side, with comments like, I mean, not gonna lie, the fact that Pixie shared a bunch of other people's shit completely changes my perspective on the matter. That's effing insane. And not gonna lie, while Destiny's brought this situation on himself, by the nature of mentally unstable women he engages with, he absolutely eviscerated Pixie in this, and she absolutely overplayed her victim status in this scandal. It's still not everything the community was hoping for. For instance, this response almost entirely focused on Pixie and the lawsuit she filed against Destiny, yet it makes no mention of his alleged affair with Lauren Southern or Cherry, who claimed that she didn't even know she was being recorded by Destiny. That said, recording and distributing explicit material without consent is a serious crime. If Pixie's lawsuit succeeds, Destiny could face up to 5 years behind bars and be forced to register as a sex offender, effectively destroying his future. Even if the lawsuit doesn't go through, Destiny is not coming out of this unscathed. The damage to his reputation is already severe and will have long-lasting consequences for his future as a content creator. But given the somewhat positive response to his latest response, maybe he still has a chance to bounce back. Only time will tell. But some creators do not just lose an audience through scandal, they disappear because they slowly teach their fans to stop caring. Having a massive audience on YouTube is both a blessing and a curse. On the one hand, you gain unmatched levels of fame, and the potential to earn millions, allowing you to turn your passion into a lucrative career. On the other hand, the pressure to meet the expectations of so many people with each new upload can really mess with your mind, leading to severe mental health issues like crippling anxiety and complete burnout, which might be exactly what happened with Fearless and made him abandon his audience. And while we don't know for certain, there's enough information out there to make a pretty solid guess. But to truly understand why Fearless disappeared, we first need to look back at how he rose to fame and what made him stand out in the first place. Now, the thing about Fearless is that he's gone to great lengths to hide his real identity. We don't know who he is in real life, where he lives, or even how old he is. The only thing I found about him is that his real name might be Ali, because it used to be in his Instagram bio. There's also this picture that has been floating around on the internet for years that many claim is Fearless, but he has never done a face reveal or confirmed that this picture is his. What we do know for sure is that Fearless uploaded his first YouTube video over a decade ago on December 21st, 2013. It was nothing more than a 36-second clip of him making a few successful sniper shots in Call of Duty Ghosts, with no voiceover or fancy editing. From there, he kept posting similar clips from different games, like Titanfall, Battlefield 4, and Halo. These videos were extremely primitive compared to his later uploads, but at their core, they still had elements, like his sniping skills, that would later become a key part of his brand. However, things started to change in February of 2015, when he began taking YouTube more seriously and uploaded his first video with a voiceover.
Where's this fool? Bro, this kid's this bad. No, there's no way you're this bad.
He also started properly editing his videos to highlight funny moments and integrate memes.
He's gonna kill me first. Come on, helicopter. I thought we had something, man. The way you looked at me when you entered the map, I thought we had something.
And just 9 months later, he hit his first big milestone on YouTube, 1,000 subscribers. Things would only go up from here. He kept refining his editing style and comedic timing, and the views on his new uploads reflected the effort he was putting in. When finally, his video titled Kicked from FaZe became his first true viral success, with over 12 million views to date. In July of 2017, Fearless hit 300,000 subscribers, and he couldn't have been happier with that accomplishment.
I just want to say thanks so much for 300k, for the support on the recent videos. Like, what? Thank you so much. It means so much to me. Like, actually, thanks.
Little did he know at the time, his channel was about to reach heights he never would have imagined. Just a few days after he uploaded his 300,000 subscribers special, a game called Fortnite got released and took over the internet. It was the only thing everyone was talking about. After seeing the game's success, Fearless decided to jump in on the fun as well, and uploaded his first Fortnite video titled Insane Sniper Shots, Fortnite Battle Royale Funny and Epic Moments, and the rest is history. This was an instant hit, with each subsequent Fortnite video getting more views than the last. Fearless also reached 1 million subscribers in June of 2018, and then 3 million subs in November of the same year. And while the success of the game certainly played a big part, the main reason people kept coming back to Fearless's videos was because they were deeply entertaining.
Alright boys, last guy. You know what's gonna happen. The no-scope's gonna happen. He's in this building somewhere. We have a sniper. We just gotta find him.
With comments like, I love you, and the mix of funny content and sick edits is just way too good. It was clear that fans loved every second of his videos. His Fortnite videos kept getting tens of millions of views, resulting in his channel reaching the 10 million subscriber mark by the end of 2020. But what should have been a triumphant moment for fans quickly turned into something more heartbreaking. You see, while his videos were loved by millions, Fearless had a massive flaw since the very beginning. His erratic upload schedule, with comments like, POV, you can't believe he uploaded in less than a month, being a common sight under his videos. At one point, the gap between uploads got so long that fans began speculating he might actually be dead. He even included the wild theory as a joke in his next upload.
Guys, I've just gotta say, if y'all watch Fearless, he died. He was at the hospital and he died because of this infection.
While his fans would have loved more uploads, they understood that what made Fearless's content so great was his commitment to prioritizing quality above all else. He only uploaded when he knew he had a banger video. Fearless could have easily uploaded at least once a week, but that kind of forced content wouldn't have been as entertaining, so his fans were more than willing to wait patiently. However, their patience turned into concern after a cryptic statement from Fearless himself. When a fan asked about his absence on TikTok, assuming he was on vacation, Fearless replied with an unsettling comment. Vacation lol, I wish this was a vacation. If only you knew my life bro. His situation became even more alarming during a live stream on his second channel in June of 2020. It started off quite normal, with him talking to the chat and wanting to thank them for joining individually. However, things took a dark turn when a fan asked about his upload schedule. The fan likely expected a joke or a snarky remark in return from Fearless, but what he received instead was oddly serious and concerning.
Dude, why you never upload? What are you watching? What's the problem?
I'm sorry. It's life. I don't know. It's weird. You want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. All right. YouTube. How the fudge you do? Whoa. Nah. I don't want to get into it. Why I haven't been uploading stuff, but it's personal. It's personal. I mean, a little bit. And then another thing is, it just like, it doesn't matter.
And just 20 minutes into the stream, Fearless decided to shut it down and ended it with a message that sounded like a final goodbye.
I love you guys. Hope you have an amazing day, a blessed life. Free taking. I don't know. Take care, Furfurl. Take care. I love you guys.
This left many viewers wondering if this was the last time they'll ever see Fearless on YouTube, and these worries became even more justified when Fearless didn't upload anything for the next 4 months. Fortunately, concerned viewers were able to breathe a sigh of relief when he uploaded his next video in December of that year, squashing any rumors of his retirement. Fans were over the moon to see him return to making regular content, resulting in the video getting over 2 million likes and becoming the most liked video on his channel, with top comments on the video reading, "Fearless uploads, 2020 has been saved," and "This video still feels like the old days. You'll love to see it. Welcome back." But while things looked great on the surface, a peek into the video's description revealed something incredibly odd, with Fearless stating, "Minecraft vid in a couple weeks." And sure enough, Fearless delivered on his promise and started 2021 with a surprise no one saw coming, a Minecraft video.
Minecraft. I don't know how to play this. I suck at it, but like, that's fine. We'll learn, okay? Okay, let's get it.
Up until this point, he had exclusively focused on shooters, so him switching to a single-player survival game was a bit shocking to say the least. But for his fans, it wasn't about the game. It was about his personality and humor. As long as those stayed the same, they were ready to support anything he played. Unfortunately, despite their warm reception of the new content, the anticipated next Minecraft video never arrived. Days turned into weeks, and without any announcement or explanation, Fearless quietly vanished from the internet. It's been 4 years since his last upload, and Fearless hasn't posted any updates on his whereabouts or future plans, leaving his fans yearning for more videos, with a heartfelt comment under his last video reading, "Miss you, bro. I remember coming home from school super excited to see that you had uploaded, and just watching it without even blinking once. I used to and still sometimes just binge your old content. Now that you haven't been uploading, it's weird not having a certain feeling like I was truly happy and entertained. You made us all smile and laugh. You were truly amazing at making content. I doubt you'll even read this, but if there's a chance you do, just know that we'll be waiting for you when you return, man." Which brings us to the big question that's on everyone's mind. What happened? Why did a YouTuber as successful and beloved as Fearless abandon his audience without warning? Fans have come up with dozens of theories over the years trying to explain his sudden disappearance, and while some of them are plausible, others are a bit too out there to be true, like the theory that claims he's actually dead. This used to be a common joke among fans when they had to wait months between uploads, but given how long it's been since his last video, some fans are starting to worry that the joke might have come true. Fortunately, there's enough evidence out there to prove that he's still alive and well. For starters, we haven't seen any official news or updates about his death. Even if he kept his real life separate from his YouTube channel, you would think that some friend or family member would spread the news to fans if he had actually passed away. A fan named Snowy1X also matched up with Fearless in a random Fortnite game in June of 2021.
Yeah.
How do you switch? Like, oh, you just, okay.
While going through his social media accounts, I also found out he changed his TikTok profile picture from this to this, sometime between July 2022 and October 2023. More recently, Reddit user GlumpyVB discovered that Fearless changes Minecraft skin around Christmas as well, so he's definitely not dead. A more reasonable theory that explains his mysterious retirement is that he simply got tired of playing Fortnite. You see, a large chunk of Fearless's content revolved around finding and trolling default skin noobs in creative ways.
You can't kill me.
But as time went on, the game became more serious. The unique new items that came with each new update got replaced with more traditional weapons that were good from a competitive sense, but extremely boring for a Fearless video. Even more importantly, the endless stream of noobs and low-skilled players from Fortnite's early days dried up. Over time, the majority of players became at least decent at the game, making it harder for Fearless to troll them in entertaining ways. What makes this theory even more believable is the fact that Fearless wasn't the only Fortnite creator losing interest in the game, as other big names like Ninja and Tfue felt the same way around that time.
I've had enough. I can't even. I'm not even. I'm leaving.
No way.
I'm done. I'm done. In fact, I'm honestly, dude. I'm not even gonna. I gotta take a break from streaming, dude.
I'm gonna just go do some fun shit. You know, just gotta go live my life.
It's so, this game is so fucking stupid, bro. Like the community, these little fucking kids, it's just so dumb. It really is, man. It's not fun. And the thing is, man, these little fucking cloud chasing losers, they have no idea, man. Like all they're doing is just harming the game, man, because I'm not gonna fucking play it. I'm not gonna play it, I'm not gonna stream it.
This would also explain why he tried to pivot away from Fortnite and to play other big games at the time, like Minecraft. But when he struggled to find the same passion for Minecraft as he once had for Fortnite, he decided to put down his controller and quit making videos. Some people have also put forward the idea that he simply quit because he already made it big. His channel has over 1.5 billion views in total, which translates into millions of dollars in revenue. And judging from his voice, Fearless was also quite young when he made these millions. So why would a young person want to grind day and night making videos when they already have enough money to last them a lifetime? That's entirely possible. However, based on what I've found, the real reason behind Fearless's disappearance is far more tragic than him living it up on some tropical beach with his YouTube fortune. As I mentioned earlier, Fearless's dedication to quality was one of the biggest reasons his content stood out. He wanted to make each video better than the last. In his mind, every new upload had to be more funny, more entertaining, and more exciting to watch. Even when he was playing Call of Duty for less than 1,000 subscribers, he was trying to improve continuously, working on his editing style, voiceover quality, and overall timing of comedic bits to deliver as big of a laugh as possible.
Where's the fourth? Where's the fourth? He's right there, but he's fucking taking his time. And I'm okay, chill. We're going off, boys. You are going off. This kid trying to knife me. Nope. There's another guy behind me. Let's juke him out. I can't sprint. My controller's broken. It's not broken. I just suck.
And while this is a good mindset to have as a creator, there's only so much you can improve before the pressure of doing better becomes too great to handle. The pursuit of constant improvement can lead many people to abandon personal projects they've never shared with anyone. Now, imagine if that project was going to be seen by tens of millions of people. The sheer weight of the expectations would be crushing, which I believe is exactly what made Fearless quit YouTube altogether. On the one hand, the astronomical growth of his channel brought in more success than he could have ever imagined. But on the other hand, it also made him anxious to hit the upload button for each subsequent video, fearing that he might disappoint his millions of fans. Which can be seen in this TikTok comment from Fearless back in 2020, when someone asked him about his next upload on TikTok, where he replied stating, "Bro, I have my next video done. I'm just scared AF to upload." A few months after his disappearance, in July of 2021, a Reddit account by the name of Graph Fearless started an AMA while claiming to be the real Fearless. And when fans asked him about the break, he mentioned things like, "I had a panic attack after posting a video that made me seek therapy, and I love what I do, but the pressure did get to me. Therefore my break, I am in therapy about it, and I'm getting better." Unfortunately, this AMA turned out to be completely fake, with the original poster stating, "This AMA is obviously fake." I hoped this would get a response from him and prove he is still alive. That failed, unfortunately. That said, while this random fan was making things up, there was more truth in their words than they realized. In February of 2024, a YouTuber by the name of Kalex did a deep dive into Fearless's disappearance. During his search, Kalex managed to get in contact with a person named Pigo, who was friends with Fearless in real life. Fearless had even shouted out Pigo in one of his Fortnite videos. So his connection with Fearless was definitely real. Pigo confirmed many things about Fearless, like how he used to work at a bakery, and that this was really him in this picture. Most importantly, Pigo verified the theory that the reason Fearless stopped posting videos was because of the pressure, stating, "His videos are really good because he actually cares and he is a perfectionist when it comes to YouTube. Like on camera, that's his real self and he is genuinely that funny off camera, but he felt pressured because he always wanted to top the last video, and all it takes is a bad video to F up your algorithm, and he just wanted the best product for his fans, and that can really burn someone out. And nowadays, YouTube is all about quantity over quality and isn't super forgiving to lone YouTubers without hired editors and stuff like that. In the end, it was the very content his audience cherished that drove him to abandon them entirely. That being said, not all hope is lost for Fearless fans. There's a good chance that he'll make a comeback to YouTube. In 2023, Fearless operated a Discord server for a couple months, where he talked with his fans and often invited them to his games. And before shutting this server down, he posted a message thanking them for their support and ended with a message with this statement: "Till the next time we meet," indicating that he still wants to return to his fans. Fortnite has also changed a lot since he left, with a lot more fun items and updates to make videos about. For his fans, all that remains is to patiently await his return. And when creators try to replace a real audience with a fake version of themselves, the result can be even more depressing. You'd think that after losing 90% of his viewership, the respect of his audience, and totally getting roasted by Penguin Zero, that Kwebbelkop would take a hint and give up on AI-generated content. However, Kwebbelkop would do the complete opposite and double down, fully automating his online presence for better or for worse.
I made a mistake. I decided to share Kwebbelkop AI with the world when he wasn't 100% ready. So let me just say, everyone has ever said about Kwebbelkop AI has been heard. Every bit of criticism.
However, to cut a long story short, Kwebbelkop was a YouTuber who built his career on worthwhile collaborations, a strong connection with his viewers, and by constantly uploading dozens of viral Let's Play videos.
We're gonna do this race, all these races in first person. Now, we're not first person right now, but we're gonna switch it. Jilly, are you ready to do this? I'm first person on my bike. Let's go!
This strategy took Kwebbelkop from 0 to over 5 million subscribers, with tens of millions of monthly views in little over a decade. Sadly, this blueprint and success that came with it had some unintended side effects. Not only did Kwebbelkop suffer from extreme burnout and loss of motivation for doing YouTube, but he sought out a remedy to the situation that only harmed his reputation and channel growth even further. By 2021, Kwebbelkop would attempt to reignite his love for content creation by launching an AI-based YouTube channel named Blue. While the channel yielded considerable success with over 1 million subscribers, its viewer base is comprised almost entirely of children who are only there for overstimulating editing and who hardly engage with the videos, where his video with over 134,000 views had only 24 comments, making for an extremely low engagement ratio. Not long after, Kwebbelkop announced that it was discontinuing his usual upload schedule, diverting his focus to other ventures like NFTs and game development. This shift in priorities would also change his personal values, as Kwebbelkop developed a habit of flexing the fruits of his success.
I bought the most exclusive car in the world. Check it out. This is a Mercedes G-Wagon with 570 horsepower and top speed of 420 kilometers an hour.
These actions not only further alienated his fan base, but drew criticism from other creators like Charlie, who used to enjoy the type of YouTuber Kwebbelkop once was, but now see his content as nothing more than a soulless cash grab.
If I want to build tons and tons and tons of channels that will flourish and shine forever, we need to remove the human element. Yes, it sounds crazy.
That's spoken like a man who really cares about the content. If I'm to own 5 million channels, I realize the weakest link is the goddamn human. Organic is cringe. Machines are the way I do it.
As if predicting the future, Charlie observed that the new Kwebbelkop was more interested in pumping out as many videos as possible for sake of ad revenue, rather than expressing creativity or creating authentic content.
You can start as many channels as you want because they all function under the same brand. It's like Spider-Man, okay? There's so many different Spider-Mans.
Why do you view that as a good thing? I mean, for you, I get it because it's a lot of money, owning all those channels and all the ad revenue. But as someone who keeps presenting himself as a guy who doesn't care about the money and does it for good content, how can you possibly sit here and try and convince your audience of Kwebbelflops that this is a good thing?
In the months that followed, Kwebbelkop would aggressively push to fully automate his channel with AI technology. From testing an AI model that runs its own podcast to launching an AI clone of himself, Kwebbelkop's primary goal was to replace his entire creative process with cold, emotionless technology.
Dax, please, pretty please. Oh, do we have 2 cows? No, we don't. Oh, okay.
You can join the family. I'm gonna name you.
As you'd expect, the video was received extremely negatively by fans, and Kwebbelkop earned another roasting from Penguin Zero, aka Charlie.
This is something he's extremely proud of and thinks is a good thing. There is nothing good about replacing people with AI across the board. It's only good for him because he can make a lot of money off of it without ever doing anything at all. So here's one of his tweets about the AI video, just to give you a little insight. He didn't lift a finger, something that he proudly proclaims here. It is fully completed work without him ever actually being present for it.
While the entire YouTube community could see the glaring issues with pumping tons of soulless AI garbage, Kwebbelkop was completely oblivious and adamantly defended his AI creations.
Enough is enough. I'm not gonna take this anymore. The same could be said for you. What you do is sit down and react to content. Are you really trying to tell me that that is more difficult than to make an entire AI video? No, it isn't.
From Kwebbelkop's perspective, there was no need to take any form of criticism seriously since he assumed the pivot to AI-generated content would eventually pay off, leaving viewers with the big question: was Kwebbelkop's bet on AI going to pay off, or was he simply throwing away his career and reputation for nothing? On the 23rd of September 2023, Kwebbelkop made a shocking announcement on Twitter that read, "The end of Kwebbelkop AI." For the first 60 seconds of the video, Kwebbelkop lamented the failures of Kwebbelkop AI, and that despite having his dream job as a YouTuber, he'd always feel like quitting.
Even a dream job can't stop me from growing up and growing older. And this made me realize this is not something I'll be able to do for the rest of my life. There will always be a point where I'll end up quitting. That might be now, that might be 10 years from now, that might be 50 years from now.
Kwebbelkop would continue by addressing the criticism from fans over their preference for the real him over the artificial clone.
One of the arguments I kept hearing over and over was that they wanted to see me, the real me. But I kept thinking, this is the real me. This is my creativity.
On the surface, it seemed Kwebbelkop was starting to come to his senses and understand why viewers had so much disdain for his AI-flavored content. However, that idea would be completely shattered by what Kwebbelkop said next.
That's why we decided to train a brand new Kwebbelkop 2.0 model with every bit of feedback we've received. And the results, they're astonishing. Every second you've been watching of this video so far has been completely AI generated. The Kwebbelkop you're seeing on the screen right now is not really me. I hope this video provides a better glimpse into the vision that we have for Kwebbelkop AI. So please consider subscribing and enjoy the story the real Kwebbelkop wants to tell. The story of Kwebbelkop AI.
Looking back, there were a few key elements that gave away the video was AI generated, such as the out-of-sync voiceover, stilted hand gestures, and jokey facial expressions. However, not every viewer would have paid close enough attention to notice, and simply assumed Kwebbelkop was giving up on AI based on the headline alone. While the video was undeniably a provocative demonstration of Kwebbelkop's latest AI model, fans that did notice weren't convinced, with one stating, "Why don't you just be a YouTuber the way it's meant to be? Meet some new people and reignite the passion. This has no soul. Nobody wants this." To which Kwebbelkop would respond with, "Meant to be, so you're telling me there is a tutorial? When I started 11 years ago on YouTube, there was no guidebook, and there still isn't. Just be creative and get people to watch your content. That's what true creativity is." To everyone watching, claiming AI-generated content was an expression of creativity was like comparing instant cup noodles to a gourmet meal. But Kwebbelkop was too stubborn to see that. In Kwebbelkop's mind, only two things seemed to matter. That his generative videos looked like his original content, and that they were garnering views. But once again, Charlie would tear down this line of thinking. On the 24th of September 2023, Charlie would upload a video titled "He Lied to You," in which he shared his thoughts on Kwebbelkop AI 2.0, and reiterated how damaging this method of content creation was.
I hope this video provides a better glimpse and a future in which influencers can use AI to enhance their storytelling, lower the barriers of entry.
There has never been a lower barrier of entry to any job position in the world quite like content creation. There has never been something with a lower barrier of entry. Completely talentless, completely effortless, you can do it. No benefit to using AI as some kind of lower barrier of entry. In fact, it's only a higher one because you have to pay Kwebbelkop for it.
Following this, Charlie addressed the inherently deceitful nature of Quibblecop AI, despite its creators' claims of being a content enhancement tool.
He keeps trying to fall back on this copium that it's there to enhance content, but it's not. It's just purely a detriment. No one is clicking on a Quibblecop video hoping to find a robot impersonating him.
The negativity towards Quibblecop AI only increased with each passing day, as several commentary creators published videos expressing their disgust over the soulless generative content.
It's not you or your creativity, it's just shit. It's just laziness and disillusion, and it makes me a little upset. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a small amount fired up right now. I do not like AI content. I think it's fucking terrible.
To make matters worse, it appears that improvements to Quibblecop AI were only skin deep, as the actual audio and storytelling were still lacking.
His first video with the AI 2.0 is out, and it is atrocious.
Alright guys, time to go into this very beautiful looking house. Hello, welcome to your new home. Check it out, this actually looks pretty nice.
He also looks like Steve Jobs.
Despite the overwhelming hate for his project, Quibblecop continued to improve his AI doppelganger and announced it would be able to play Minecraft on its own, with a tweet reading, "Quibblecop AI can now play Minecraft all by itself." Unfortunately, viewers weren't as excited about the announcement, with comments reading, "We don't care, nobody cares. This ratio can play Minecraft all by itself." However, by early November 2023, Quibblecop couldn't resist the urge to respond to the hate, and uploaded a now deleted video titled, "Why the Hate?" In addition to talking about some minor drama with his previous friend group, Quibblecop took a brief moment to address the haters.
You guys don't like Quibblecop AI. You have to understand that the real Quibblecop has moved on, and I understand why you guys are upset about that. But we have to face the reality here.
What Quibblecop failed to understand was that his audience didn't hate the AI model for its appearance, but for the fact he was masquerading a lifeless replica as a creative innovation. The AI was only able to poorly mimic Quibblecop's previous videos and failed to provide the authenticity, likability, or creativity that made him famous to begin with. Charlie was right when he said the only one who truly benefited from the advancements in Quibblecop AI was Quibblecop himself. However, as we'll soon see, that wouldn't be the case for much longer. At the beginning of 2024, Quibblecop unlisted all of his videos from the previous year, with the hopes of allowing viewers to forget his past AI blunders and give his channel a fresh start. Unfortunately, that would prove to be more difficult than Quibblecop anticipated, as his first video of the year received far fewer views than its predecessors, and was also heavily disliked by fans, with the video gaining 5.8k dislikes compared to just 867 likes. While a majority of the negativity could be attributed to Quibblecop still relying on AI, a good portion of it could be due to the video giving fans a direct comparison between him and his clone.
Alright, we need to protect this chest full of diamonds, and I'm going to start off with a little bit of cobblestone, okay? Alright, so here we go. I got this beautiful chest over here with all these diamonds. I'm just gonna be placing it somewhere else, though. So let me just, grab this chest and the diamonds.
From glitching voiceovers to repetitive speech patterns, Quibblecop AI still paled in comparison to the original, and this would only become more apparent with each subsequent upload. All of the newer long-form videos on Quibblecop's channel failed to surpass 100k views, which is a far cry from how he performed in 2023 and 2022. Eventually, Quibblecop would recognize the downsides of AI and start creating full videos without it, but this didn't do much to remedy the situation. As one commenter would put it, "The damage is done, you're too late, man." Quibblecop tried to supplement his view count with AI short-form content, but it wasn't anything to write home about.
Whoa, check this out. This hammer and sand combo is crazy cool, tapping out an epic geometric puzzle. Oh, it's getting shinier. Silver play button, here we come.
The only other public channel under Quibblecop's control that was moderately successful was the Blue channel, which was still putting out repetitive daily uploads. In a bid to capitalize on this success, Quibblecop would create a similar channel under the name Blue and Red, but sadly, the child-centric viewer base didn't carry over, as the channel barely has 1,000 subscribers and garners less than 3k views on average. Despite the current state of his YouTube platform, Quibblecop is still optimistic about his AI models. In DM to me, Quibblecop shared advancements he and his team have have made with Quibblecop 2.0. Quibblecop AI can speak 25 different languages. Current public version we are testing takes a video and does the entire reaction and editing to this video. You can even ask it to do commentary in a certain style. Quibblecop AI can also play Minecraft and react to it while playing, so a proper Minecraft Let's Play is possible. He even expressed plans for Quibblecop 3.0. We plan to launch Quibblecop AI 3.0 in the next 3 months. Not only will it react to a video, it will also generate the video it reacts to. One huge feedback point we received was about the fairness of reacting to someone else's video. Generating the video we react to should solve this problem. This means that the entire video is 100% generated AI. The entire production of the video too. The audio, the video, everything you see. Quibblecop's hopeful outlook for Quibblecop AI 3.0 can also be seen on his Twitter, where he frequently posts about the model's performance and efficiency, with a tweet reading, "Quick Quibblecop AI update. Achieved a 80% cost reduction thanks to our new partner, Argil.ai. Further optimization achieved too. Next milestone is 100% Gen AI content and 100% autonomy." Things are about to get crazy. Only time will tell if Quibblecop AI will live up to his own expectations, but for now, we can only speculate on what the YouTube landscape would be like if such an AI model were to succeed or fail. Regardless of what happens, Quibblecop's experiment with AI will leave a mark on the YouTube community, either as a laughingstock or as a start of an AI uprising. Whilst Quibblecop is controversial, at least he's not I'm Alex, who lost respect from his entire audience in just 5 days.